career. So it's the opener between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins in Joe Robbie Stadium, where for most of the hour and a half before game time, a steady rain fell on an uncovered field. So we can look for some iffy field conditions. Temperature 91 degrees, humidity 60%, the wind out of the southeast at 16 miles per hour, and we expect more thunderstorms as the day goes on. Here's a look back on tape at the kind of rain which fell here within the past hour and the field condition under that rain. And now the Dolphins prepare to kick off. As Marino waits on the sideline, New England will receive, and the Patriots will have the ball to begin on offense as Pete Stoyanovich tees it up 1 inch above the grass, and Corey Kroom and Ray Crittenden wait near the goal line to receive for New England. Jim Lampley along with Todd Christensen, happy to be with you as we get ready to kick it off for the Dolphins and the Patriots on this opening day of the NFL 75th season. Just filling the seats now in Joe Robbie Stadium. The rain abated within the past 10 minutes. And Stoyanovich's first regular season effort off the new 1-inch tee goes to the 8-yard line. Crittenden takes it and gets it back near the 30. And on first down, second-year quarterback Drew Bledsoe to pull the trigger for the Patriot offense. Throwing on first down, complete to fullback Kevin Turner. Second down, 3 yards to go for a first down for New England. Number 44, Marion Butts, gets his first regular season carry as a Patriot, and the Dolphins stack him up short of a first down. Marco Coleman making the stop from his defensive end position.
And just based on what you saw there of Marion Butts and what you can see of the field position, it is going to be a struggle for running backs in that part. Marlin organization, clearly the eternal optimists, keeping the infield here. It is going to be difficult in the course of the game because of the fact, as you mentioned earlier, Jim, I think there are going to be some more rains, and the mudders are going to be key to the success of both teams today.
Coates was in motion. The give was to Butts, and the Dolphins make the second critical run stop of the series. Tim Bowens, rookie defensive tackle, along with nose guard Chuck Klingbeil, there to make the stop for Don Shula's team. And the Patriots will be forced to punt from the muddy infield area. Rookie punter Pat O'Neill coming on, and this is not the way he would have envisioned his first NFL punt, Todd.
Certainly not. He's going to have to show that he has the composure to, despite the treacherous footing, get a ball off. Don't be surprised if his feet come out from under him.
Dangerous returner deep from Miami. Second-year man O.J. McDuffie, who was fourth in the AFC in punt returns a year ago. O'Neill gets it off high and short. McDuffie runs up and makes the fair catch at the Dolphin 36. So Miami will have good field position to begin the offense outside their 35-yard line.
Hi, I'm behind.
Marino's first play from scrimmage in a regular season game since October 10 of last year. And in and out of the hands of tight end Keith Jackson, number 88.
Keith Jackson is somebody whose work ethic has been questioned. Should have had that ball.
This time Marino's throw into the hands of Ingram, perhaps a little bit behind him, and Mark Ingram was unable to hold on. Here's what Dan Marino had to say to us yesterday about any lingering effects of the torn Achilles tendon.
Yeah, it's kind of to the point now where I just want to get on with playing football and talking about the games, and although, you know, it's part of getting ready for the game and everything, how my ankle is, I'm just tired of talking about it.
You know, Jim, part of the problem with this is that his Achilles tendon is going to be an easy scapegoat for any problem that the offense has this season for the Miami Dolphins. If anything goes wrong, that's going to be the easy excuse to point to.
Marino out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers on the field. He goes downfield from the running back position, and the laser shot from Marino across midfield to number 83, Scott Miller, the 4th wide receiver out of UCLA. Myron Guyton and Corwin Brown there to make the stop for New England.
This is one of those situations where the pass protection was just too good. This is a deep in route, approximately 17 yards. Miller just curls in the zone. That's a situation where the pass rush has to get to Marino, and it did not. And clearly he was able to step up and throw the ball on a dime there. Good throw by Marino, and good plan.
First down of the football game belongs to the Dolphins. It's at the New England 48-yard line. Kirby and Myers behind Marino. He gives it to Terry Kirby. And the second-year player out of has a couple before Mike Pitts makes the stop from defensive end for New England.
Last year, Terry Kirby had 75 catches, second most by a rookie in the history of the National Football League. In fact, I think it was Keith Jackson, the other great rookie pass catcher. But the rushing is really the issue there. 3.3 per carry and 390 yards. Clearly, Super Bowl history has taught us that to get to that distance, you have to have somebody that can carry the ball 20 times a game. And right now, even Don Shula admitted to us that he's not sure that he has that back on his roster.
Second down, 7 at the New England 45. Marino under center, gives to Kirby again. Good hole. And Kirby gets it down near the 40-yard line. Marty Moore, number 58, is the man who makes the stop for New England, and you got to expect the Dolphins are going to try to go right at him.
Accentuating this point, Jim, is the fact that you look over the last 4 years, and clearly the passing game is non-pareil, as everybody's aware of with Dan Marino. But the rushing statistics are the big problem. Interesting point, in 3 of the Super Bowls that the Miami Dolphins were in the 70s and with David Woodley in 82, in rushing, they were 1, 2, and 3 during those years. And Shula is cognizant of that, hence the reason why this year they're trying to accentuate the rushing game.
Third down 2. Is it a run or a pass for Miami? In years past, the Dolphins might have gone to the air. This time they try Kirby. And on a slow starting play, Kirby is stacked up short of the first down. Tim Goad, number 72, making the stop from his nose guard position for New England.
And isn't that great? There's your classic look of a nose tackle right there. Face in the mud. The vertical jump by Kirby didn't affect him at all. He got right underneath him. Great play by Tim Goad. And as best we can tell from this vantage point, it looks like they're going to go for it.
Fourth down 1. The ball is at the 39-yard line. It would have been a 56-yard field goal attempt for Stoyanovich had the Dolphins elected to go in that direction. Now they line up, appearing ready to go for it on 4th and 1. Give us to Kirby. Football is loose in the air and is picked off in the air by Myron Guyton of the New England Patriots. Marty Moore, number 58, the last player drafted out of Kentucky, was the man who made the hit in midair that forced Kirby to cough up the football.
And how exciting for Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. Watch number 58 stick his head right in there and strip the ball from Kirby. Guyton picks it out of midair. Big turnover for the New England Patriots, who are back on their own 40 when we return. One of the great human interest stories this year is Marty Moore, the last pick of the NFL draft. He's going to knife in here, and Kirby once again goes with the vertical jump. The ball is going to pop out, and Myron Guyton is going to come over here and make the catch. What an engaging young man this Marty Moore was, Jim.
Yeah, terrific guy. Great positive attitude. As we said, Mr. Irrelevant, the honor which is accorded to the last player taken in the draft. On first down, Bledsoe throws to the recently acquired Leroy Thompson. Picked up to be a third down back and perhaps to spell Butts at tailback. Gene Atkins knocks him out of bounds, but it's a big gainer for the Patriots into Miami territory at the 40-yard line.
Well, people forget that Leroy Thompson was the man that took the place of Barry Foster last year and led the Pittsburgh Steelers in rushing. So it's not as if he's just a specialist out of the backfield catching the ball. He can run with it after, and you can see right there he delivers the forearm. Good first down gain for the Patriots.
Call it the 39 of Miami. Patriots' first down of the game. Turner in motion. Bledsoe gives it to number 44, Marion Butts, and Butts is again stacked up by the Miami run defense. Chuck Klingbeil moving well laterally from the nose tackle position.
This is a situation where the counter trade just took too long to develop. Take a look, though, at the inside linebacker, Chuck Bulla, the one who a lot of pressure is on him. Take a look at number 54 with the wide eyes, a la Mike Singletary. Pat Harlow gets a pretty good whack on him, but he's able to come in and at the last minute contribute with Klingbeil on the tackle.
Loss of 1 on the play, second down 11. Butts so far unable to get on track for the Patriots. Michael Timpson, and Timpson has first down yardage before he's knocked out of bounds by cornerback J.B. Brown.
Take a look at how quickly Bledsoe gets the ball out to Timpson. Timpson's going to come out of his break, and the ball is right there. Watch number 83. There's the break. There's the ball. He never breaks stride. Then he cuts upfield. Normally, when quarterbacks throw this ball, Jim, this is a 7-8 yard gain tops. But because of Bledsoe knowing the offense better, getting the ball out to Timpson on the run, that's a first down. I think that's one of the key differences between Bledsoe last year and this, his sophomore season.
Timpson was man up in the slot with Troy Vincent, and Vincent looked a little hesitant. On first down now, Butts breaks loose.
Oh, man.
There's a flag down as as Marion gets it down to about the 22-yard line.
One of the least fun things is to have to be a safety and to come up and take on Marion Butts. What a lick he put on. Oh, man. People forget that at 6'1", 248 pounds, this is a man that was timed in 4.55 in the 40. And when he gets it going, this is a load.
And here's referee Gordon McCarter.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty, number 37 defense. 5 yards, the penalty's enough for a first down.
I think that was just a matter of J.B. Brown holding on. Take a look at the momentum that Butts is going to have coming into the left hole. Once again, counter trey. Here comes the fullback coming through, does a nice job sealing. Atkins comes up and he just runs right over the top of Atkins, and Brown catches his face mask and tacks on 5 yards.
So it's first down, 10 to go with the ball at the 16-yard line. Butts gets it down near the 11. Brian Cox makes his first stop of the game from outside linebacker for the Dolphins.
Did you notice how tentative Atkins was there as opposed to the last time? He comes up a little bit slower, and you can see Brian Cox is holding on for dear life. You mentioned earlier a couple of series ago that Butts was having a hard time getting on track. Those 2 runs are going to do a lot for his confidence.
Butts looked on to be the battering ram for Parcells in New England that Otis Anderson was a few years back in New York. Second down 5. It's Butts again, this time off the left side. And he fights his way inside the 10-yard line. Marco Coleman holding up the defensive end position for the Dolphins.
Bill Parcells has been famous in his years with the Giants for going for it on 4th down. I'm just taking a guess here, but they have 3rd and 3. They could conceivably be thinking 4 downs here and say, okay, we're going to go with Marion Butts twice and see if they can stop him twice on 3 yards. That was something, if I was the head coach, I'd be thinking of here, because that could be something that really disillusioned the Dolphins early in the game.
Officials mark the ball at the 10. Make it 3rd and 4. Normal set for the Patriots. End around with Timpson carrying the football. And he gets away from 2 men and fights his way down to about the 7-yard line before Gene Atkins makes the stop for the Dolphins.
What a tremendous second effort, and an interesting call by Bill Parcells. Normally a little bit more conservative, but he gets the first down. Brian Cox, Jim, was not fooled on the play. Take a look to the left of your screen. Number 51 is not fooled by the misdirection. He sprints right out. He has his eyes set on Timpson, but can't come up with a tackle. Bulla overslides it, and there's a nice block there by Brisby, who knocks J.B. Brown out of the play, enabling Timpson to get the first down.
So the excellent block by wide receiver Vincent Brisby sets up the chance for Timpson to fall forward for the first down, and it's 1st and goal New England at the 6. Double tight end set now for the Patriots, and there's timeout on the field. Bledsoe will go talk it over with Parcells. We'll be back to Joe Robbie Stadium in a moment. Jim Lampley along with Todd Christensen. 5:58 to go in the first quarter. 8th play of the New England drive coming up. Second possession for the Patriots. So far they've gone 53 yards in 7 plays to set up 1st and goal at the 6. Marion Butts in with the football. Running room on the left side. He hammers Atkins and takes it down to about the 1-yard line. Atkins got help from Chuck Bulla and was finally able to force Butts out.
I tell you something, Gene Atkins, the free agent from New Orleans, got a pretty good chunk of money to come to the Dolphins. And in 3 plays, he has already earned his money, taking on big Marion Butts and riding him out of bounds just inside the 3. That's the 3rd time he's had to run roughshod on Butts in this series. And I tell you, he's got to be in some pain.
It'll be 2nd down, goal to go. They mark it out at the 2-yard line. Tight set for the Patriots. And Butts again with the football. And now he gets it down to about the 1-yard line. J.B. Brown coming up from the corner to wrap Butts up and keep him out of the end zone.
One thing I've never understood, Jim, about this is that clearly they've been running effectively with their normal set. Then all of a sudden you go into your goal line set and you decide to run. What does that do? It packs everybody in. It limits the spaces, and all of a sudden a big guy like Butts doesn't have the same amount of room to run in. I'm surprised, too, that they don't just go with the regular set and go with their standard running game and not allow the Dolphins to pack 8 people in between the hashes.
3rd down. 1 yard out. Still the goal line set. And it's Kevin Turner with the football. And the 3rd-year fullback out of Alabama has it over the goal line. Patriots jump on top.
Well, New England had been a little predictable, going to Butts every time down. Now on 3rd and 1, they opted to go to the fullback. And the youngster who had a 69-yard touchdown run in the last game of the exhibition season shows his mettle. All you got to do is, here they get a stalemate. They don't push anybody off the ball. Actually, the Dolphins do a pretty good job of holding up, but all they needed was a yard, and the 235-pounder got it for them.
And out of Scott Zolak's hold, Matt Barr adds the point after touchdown for the Patriots. So with 4:44 to go in the first quarter, New England leads 7-0. Patriots went 59 yards in 10 plays to score. This was the key play of the drive on 3rd and 3.
They go with the reverse, and it doesn't surprise anybody. Brian Cox has it, but instead he's able to avoid him. Watch Vince Brisby now come up with a big block on J.B. Brown that enables Timpson to reach forward, get the first down. That was the key play of the drive, setting up the touchdown plunge by Turner. Of course,
so we come back live, and O'Neal gets ready to kick it off for New England with McDuffie and Spikes waiting. They kick it to McDuffie's side of the field. O.J. gets it across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Pretty good kick coverage under the circumstances for the Patriots. Now first down 10 for the Dolphins at the 28-yard line. And Kirby on first down has a couple across the 30 to about the 31. Second down 8 for the Dolphins after the 2-yard gain by Kirby on first down. Marino finds Kirby out of the backfield, and the young man who had 75 catches a year ago is to the 35 before he's brought down by Marty Moore and Chris Slade.
I think it's pretty important here that the Dolphins get a first down. They don't want to go 3 and out, particularly now that New England had just scored and has a little momentum going.
4 wide receivers on the field for the Dolphins. The dime on for the Patriots. 6 defensive backs. So here comes Byers out of the football game for Miami.
I'm surprised too Keith Jackson is out of the game. He's one of the few tight ends left in the National Football League that stays in on 3rd downs, or did. Now they're going exclusively, it appears, with their 4-wide package.
Shotgun. He can get the football beyond the 39-yard line to pick up the first down. Plenty of room for the first down and more. Out to about the 45-yard line before Myron Guyton finally caught up to Kirby and knocked him out.
Depending upon what generation you are, that's the Utah pass or the shovel pass. Terry Kirby underneath makes Slade commit to the quarterback, and he pitches underneath. Good job of blocking by the front line. Kirby getting the first down and another reception.
The Utah pass. Yeah. That would be Cactus Jack.
There you go. Very good.
46-yard line, first down for the Dolphins. Their second possession of the football game. The Patriots got a touchdown on their second possession. Drops back and looks deep for the first time in the game. It got an open man, and the ball is just overthrown. Ricky Reynolds on the coverage for the Patriots, as Mark Ingram was getting downfield for the Dolphins. Now let's take a look at Marino's drop, Todd.
Didn't look like there was anything wrong with his feet there. Check out the plant. Watch him bounce on the right foot there. That's how he's always done it. Goes off the toes. Now, certainly here, there's nothing wrong with his arm. That's about 50, 55 yards in the air. And that's one of the points that he made to us yesterday. He said, hey, I don't throw with my Achilles.
The numbers on Marino to this point in the game.
Let's also mention the 2 of those were clearly drops.
2:24 still to go in the first quarter. The screen. Kirby is blasted in open field by Maurice Hurst. A 6-year corner out of Southern, signed to a contract by the Patriots that they hope will keep him there for a long time, and Parcells loves this player.
Sometimes they guess right. You can see the feet right here. Marino once again get a chance to look and see his plan. Take a look at the feet. They're not fooled at all by the screen. Maurice Hurst saw that coming a mile away, and you can see there a number of the New England defenders saw the exact same thing. Poorly advised play.
With Hurst and Reynolds in the lineup, Bill Parcells feels he has a pair of corners that can compare to any in the Eastern Conference. Marino down the field on 3rd down, and this time he gets the ball to Ingram underneath the coverage. Ingram breaks the tackle and gets it deeper into New England territory at about the 35-yard line. Rod Smith finally making the stop for New England.
Now, Jim, they're going to bring the ball back, and it's going to be interesting where this spot is. It's very close to the first down marker, and I don't think the fans are going to be very happy about it. Once again, great protection by the front line. Marino has plenty of time, and a very deep hook by Ingram. Now, let's see if his knee goes down. Does his knee go down? It looked right there that it was just down on the right hand, but they're going to bring it back. And fortunately for the Dolphins, it is a first down.
It was 3rd down 14, so that spot was critical, but the Dolphins do get enough for the first down, and they move it back to the New England 44. And Marino has to use a timeout.
Take a look at the end of the play. Mark Ingram goes for the extra yardage. Ron Hiller thinks he's helping him by pushing him down, but take a look at the face of Mark Ingram when he gets up. He gets a helmet full of mud. And that's time for substitution. He says, "Now you got to take me out. I got to clean myself off." That was great.
He never got that mud blot on the AstroTurf at Giant Stadium, the artificial turf, I should call it. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins now at the 44-yard line of New England. The pitch is to Kirby. And good tackling by the Patriots as they close the hole after a pickup of about a yard. Marty Moore and Vincent Brown, the 2 inside linebackers. And in Brown, 59, you got one of the surest tacklers in the league.
Well, it was Marty Moore that finished him off there. You're right. Brown over 150 tackles last season. Voted, interestingly enough, and I believe it was, what was the fitness magazine? The
Muscle and Fitness magazine.
Muscle and Fitness magazine, the best body in the National Football League, number 59 for the Patriots.
Mentioned that to one of his Patriots teammates, and he said, "Oh, no question. Not even a contest." 2nd down, 7 yards to go. They give Kirby credit for 3 on that play. Marino looking down the right side. Open man. In and out of the hands of number 80, Irving Fryer. The former Patriot #1 draft choice, Ricky Reynolds, again on the coverage.
The very reason that they got Ricky Reynolds. Irving Fryer cuts up and he's got him beat here. And this is a terrific throw. Watch the left hand of Ricky Reynolds clearly beat right at the last minute. He gets the shoulder in there. That's an outstanding job of pass defense without being able to look back. He read the eyes of Fryer and put his arm up just at the right time to avoid interference. Ricky Reynolds played some terrific football for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but very few people knew about it. 2 years ago, it's my opinion, Jim, he should have been in the Pro Bowl.
3rd down, 7, 4 wide on the field for Miami, 6 defensive backs for New England. Marino out of the shotgun. Last play of the quarter. The heart in the throat of Don Shula as Marino dives inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line for the first down and gets a huge ovation from the crowd.
In 18.
It's amazing what adrenaline will do for you. Here he is coming off the big injury. Everybody's saying, geez, you can't run, Dan. It looks bad. You've struggled over the last 2 weeks. Now all of a sudden the regular season's here. The endorphins have kicked in. There's no limp there at all. Diving forward to get the extra yardage, face in the mud. That's somebody that, forget the money, forget the All-Pros, forget the Hall of Fame. This guy's a competitor. He loves to play football.
And after converting a 3rd down into a 1st down for the Dolphins, Marino now prepares to try to take them in from the 32-yard line, the New England Patriots, as the 2nd quarter begins. Patriots have had the football twice. They scored on their 2nd possession. This is the 2nd Dolphin possession of the game. 10th play of the drive. Under pressure, Marino fires over the middle, complete to Ingram. 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard completion to Ingram. Football flags down as he gets 1st down yardage inside the 20 to about the 18, and we'll await the call from referee Gordon McCarter. Could be a hold.
Or it could be a hand to the face.
Illegal use of hands. Number 72 defense jammed to the face. 5 yards, automatic first down.
Beautifully done, Todd. First down for the Dolphins.
That's such a tough call, though. You know, here you are battling all the time, trying very hard, and sometimes your hands can slip off and come up in the face. And by the way, story regarding Tim Goad, very funny yesterday when I ran into him. You know, we were talking about the thing about Vincent Brown, and I said, but Tim, you're a close second. And he burst out laughing. He said, not a chance. But he did concur with what you said. Vincent Brown, clearly an absolute stallion physically.
The 13-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Marino throwing. And it's batted down in the crowd at the line of scrimmage. Mike Pitts and Tim Goad were both rushing with their hands up, and one or the other got a hand on the football. So it will be 2nd down 10 for the Dolphins, who have sustained this drive, converting a couple of 3rd and longs along the way. Fill up after the hour-and-a-half the target underneath. Terry Kirby down to the 2-yard line. Vincent Brown there with the tackle.
Watch to the left of your screen. One time Chris Slade is finally going to get around Richmond Webb, but this is the advantage of the quick release. Looks like he's going to get creamed at the last minute. That flick of the wrist getting the ball to Kirby. Dan Marino has without a doubt the quickest release in the National Football League, and it just frustrates defensive linemen. Look at him set up. The right foot planted. You know, one of the things he emphasized to us yesterday, Jim, was the fact that he said, look, all that other stuff was practice in preseason. You never know what's going to happen when it really starts. The big show, meaning the regular season.
And on first and goal at the 2-yard line, Kirby is stacked up short of the goal line. It'll be second down from inside the 1. Marty Moore and backup linebacker David Bavaro, number 52, there to make the stop for the Pats.
Just to finish that thought with regards to Marino, he was prophetic where that was concerned, knowing that once the regular season starts, it's a totally different story. He's certainly proven that on the field thus far in the first half.
Dolphins trail 7-zip, second and goal from inside the 1. Kirby again, and again, the middle of the New England defense is more than equal to the task. Gould and Brown stacking it up there for the Patriots. And a flag is down on the far side of the field.
That's going to move him back 5. I'm surprised, Jim. 3 times now Kirby has jumped, and 3 times it's failed. One time he jumped up, he got stuffed. The other time he fumbled. Now this time he gets completely enveloped.
2 men moving and not resetting before the snap. 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
So now an entirely different situation for the Dolphins as they'll move the football out to the 6-yard line. Good look at Bernie Kosar, the new backup quarterback for the Dolphins. Regarded by many, including our studio commentator Joe Gibbs, as a potential critical factor in the AFC East. Ingram with the attempt to catch. The ball popped up in the air and picked off by Dwayne Sapp.
He's out of bounds at the 9. This is all for nothing.
So an interception for the Patriots to avert the Dolphins scoring threat. You see Dan Marino's anger. The ball was into the hands of Mark Ingram, number 82, and then popped back up.
Well, clearly frustrating because the ball is right there. Here to Keith Byers.
It's Byers.
Very catchable ball. He almost gets it at the last minute with the right hand. He pops it up incidentally. Another break, another big turnover for the New England Patriots.
And you saw Sabb's foot out of bounds. We'll be back. Back live at Joe Robbie Stadium. Jim Lapley along with Todd Christensen on first down for the Patriots from their 9-yard line. Marion Butts takes it out across the 10 before he's knocked down by rookie defensive tackle number 95, Tim Bowens of the Dolphins. The Dolphins kept the football for 13 plays, 64 yards, 7 minutes, 47 seconds, could not score.
That was not a happy man after that. You saw him getting off the field. He was very, very angry. He was screaming at some people. You can see right there, still pointing. Not very happy about what happened on the field there.
The ball at the 13-yard line, second and 6 after the 4-yard pickup by Butts. Bledsoe throws in the flat, complete for first down yardage across the 20 to the 23. Vincent Brisby makes the catch. J.B. Brown with the stop.
Conservative throwing down here. Good decision by Bill Parcells. Short passes, getting him out of here. Getting out of deep in their own territory. He said that he's not as conservative as everybody thinks. He's got the great quarterback, and he's going to use it.
First down with the football marked at the 24. Butts again. And this time he stopped in his own backfield before he can get going. It was number 90, Marco Coleman, penetrating across from the defensive end position.
Take a look at the interception. Watch at the end Byers' right hand in an effort to get the ball on the second try after one-handing with the left hand. Watch his right hand. It's actually going to flip it up just as he's about to fall down. He reaches up there, and that's when the pop-up comes up for Sabb to make the catch. And Jim, as you pointed out right there, he steps out of bounds at the 9-yard line. It's still a big turnover for the Patriots.
On second down, 11, Butts out of the football game. Leroy Thompson in a tailback for New England. Bledsoe gets it away on the screen, and it's Thompson with the football, but he's wrapped up by Brian Cox. Big play linebacker of the Dolphins.
Great play by Brian Cox, not just on the tackle, but the way the screen was set up. Unlike the Dolphins screen, watch the left of your screen, number 51. They set this up very well. Watch the vertical jump. He jumps over the block of Cratch, comes back, and makes the tackle. Great play by Brian Cox.
Dolphin defense looks to Cox for leadership and inspiration. One of the fieriest players in the league. Third down 11 now from the 23. Regular set for New England. Bledsoe down the middle. Interception opportunity. Rookie punter Pat O'Neill inside his 10 for the Patriots. O.J. McDuffie comes up to take a look for the Dolphins. He'll take it at the 40. Across the 45 to about the 47-yard line, so it will be excellent field position for Miami. Rod Smith on the tackle for New England. But the Patriots, having capitalized on one scoring threat of their own and averted a Dolphin threat, lead 7-0. We'll be back. Back inside Joe Robbie Stadium, where for the moment we have dry skies. 9:11 to go in the second quarter. The Dolphins, frustrated, trailing 7-0 against New England. Their last possession, they took the ball 64 yards down to the 1-yard line before Dwayne Sabb interception of a pass deflected off the hands of Keith Byers stopped the scoring threat. Now on first down, Terry Kirby with the football for the Dolphins, and he gets near or perhaps across midfield before Bavaro and Willie McGinnis make the stop for the Patriots. First chance we've had to call the name of the fourth player taken in this year's draft, outside linebacker Willie McGinnis.
And he was somebody that yesterday when we were chatting with him, I asked him about the inevitable comparisons that have to happen with himself and LT, because everybody was talking, the comparisons are just too obvious. The linebacker, Parcells, et cetera, et cetera. All he said is that in 10 years he hopes that they'll think of him in the same way as they think of LT, but right now comparisons are unjust.
Play action on 2nd and 6. The downfield throw is broken up at the Dolphin 30. Intended receiver was Ingram, and Myron Guyton was there from his safety position.
And once again, you saw Marino coming downfield, not very happy with either the cut or the route. You can see he's getting a little bit frustrated by that last series. I think it's still spilling over. Here's a route downfield. He gets in the zone, and there he looks. There's what he's frustrated about. He stops instead of keep running. That's what Marino was waiting for. That's why he waved his right hand. Keep going into that seam of the zone.
6 defensive backs in the game for New England. 4 wideouts on the field for Miami on 3rd down 7. Good protection for Marino, but the throw is behind Irving Fryer. And again, Marino not terribly happy with his receiver on that play.
Here's the young pass rusher, number 55. He said it was difficult to adjust to going from a stand-up position because he played defensive end in college. Ron Hiller there does a nice job saying, welcome to the NFL, rookie. It's not going to be that easy.
So Willie McGinnis goes back to the sideline. Jim Arnold comes on to kick it for the Dolphins. Arnold in his 12th year in the league. Long time with the Lions. Before that, a few years with Kansas City. Ray Critton deep to receive for New England. Takes it at the 10, gets away from the first man. Near the 20, he's knocked down at the 19-yard line. Chuck Bullen, number 54, downfield to make the tackle for the Dolphins. It's 7-0 New England, and we'll be back. Back live, Patriots sideline in Miami. Cool zone.
Yeah, that Tim Goad, he's a cat that likes it.
He's a cat that really likes that cool zone.
He grooves on the cool zone.
Temperature 91 degrees on the field at game time. First down and 10 for the Patriots just inside their own 20-yard line. Play action, Bledsoe looking downfield, and he's got his man. Michael Timpson is out of bounds at midfield, knocked out by Michael Stewart, but a 30-yard pickup on first down for the Patriots.
Short corner by Michael Timpson. He runs not the deep corner, but the short corner underneath. Watch number 83 here. Weave a little to the inside, break to the out. Not as deep normally, but look at the throw. Right on the mark between 2 defenders. Nice throw by Bledsoe.
Dolphins picked up Michael Stewart to play strong safety as a free agent from the Rams. The knock on him is that he can get beat deep from time to time.
But clearly that was his zone coverage, and he certainly doesn't match up man for man with Timpson.
On first down, Butts the football across midfield to about the 49-yard line. It'll be second down for New England after the tackle by Chuck Bulla from his middle linebacker position. Rick Meyer set an NFL rookie record last year with 2,833 yards passing. But what if Drew Bledsoe had played all 16 games, Todd?
Well, I think that clearly he would have been past Meyer, and everybody got excited about the records that he set. But there's the projection if he'd had those other 3 games. 3,000 yards and 18 touchdowns by a rookie in his inaugural season in the NFL. That'd be nothing to snooze at.
On second down 7, Butts out of the game. Thompson in at tailback. You see the numbers on Bledsoe. This is Thompson. Good yardage down to the 45-yard line. J.B. Brown making the stop from his corner position for Miami.
Bringing in Thompson is a little bit of a change of pace. They get used to getting banged around with butts between the tackles, and suddenly they have a guy that can bounce to the outside. Thompson is somebody who really didn't necessarily get his due in Pittsburgh, didn't get his opportunities because of Barry Foster. And of course, the rumor was that they got him because of the injuries to the others. I think that if everyone would have been completely healthy, they still would have wanted to acquire Leroy Thompson here in New England.
It was crowded for a while in Pittsburgh with Barry Foster, Tim Worley, and Leroy Thompson. Now only Foster remains. Third down, 2 yards to go for the Patriots. Need to get the football to the 42 for a first down. Flags down as Thompson is thrown for a loss. It was Chris Singleton, number 55, who burst across the line for Miami.
I don't think that New England got the playoff in time, but Gordon McCarter didn't like the way he was hit, and I think he's going to call a personal foul.
Delay of game, offense, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 55 defense. A hit after the whistle. By rule, the 5-yard penalty is declined. We enforce for the major penalty. Yes, sir.
Terrific break for the Patriots, and the story there, of course, is that Singleton was in 1990 New England's first-round draft choice.
Yeah, interesting point here is the fact that Singleton, how many Jim, where in a situation there's a hit after the whistle, it looks like it's, well, everybody's no big deal, the whistle's blown. That time Gordon McCarter decided that's enough, I'm throwing the flag. Right there, the whistle's blown. You can see clearly he's slowing down. But right there, Singleton puts the hit on him, and there's Thompson, gets up and doesn't appreciate it, but Gordon McCarter steps in between with the yellow linen. That's the final say.
So a tough moment for Singleton, hoping to make a mark against his old team today. The cynical fan in New England would say, well, he never made a hit like that in 4 years.
He was the 8th pick of the draft. I believe it was in '92. He led the Dolphins in tackles during the preseason.
First down at the 29-yard line for Bledsoe and the Patriots. In the end zone, number 82, the intended target is Vincent Brisby, and J.B. Brown had the near interception for the Dolphins.
That was a good piece of defense there. Take a look at Brisby. He's going to get the inside on him. He's running the fade. Normally this is an outside route. Bounces to the out. Now he cuts back. He's going to cut across his shoulder right there. The ball is right where it should be, but take a look at Brown anticipating, jumping over the top, almost coming up with a catch. Good piece of defense there by J.B. Brown. Somewhat of a guy who is in the shadow of Troy Vincent and some of the other defensive backs, but an outstanding corner in his own right.
Second and 10 now for New England. Football right in the middle of that soaked infield area. It's Kevin Turner with the reception, and Turner is close to the first down as he's knocked out by Michael Stewart down at about the 22-yard line. I say close to the first down. Let's knock that back to a gain of about 7. It'll be third down 3.
Kevin Turner is in that mold of great fullbacks who catch the ball out of the backfield and do all the dirty stuff and block, but he has great hands. You see, very reliable, and that's where Bledsoe goes to him, is when he needs that 6 and 7 yards. He reminds you a lot of Tom Rathman, Daryl Johnston of the Cowboys.
I started to say, he's kind of a poor man's Daryl Johnston, isn't he?
I think in another year he won't be poor man's anymore. It looks good today.
Third down and 4. The football at the 23. Underneath to Michael Timpson, and Timpson is close to the first down as J.B. Brown wraps him up from behind. It looks to me as though he's got the necessary yardage to move the chains.
And one of the advantages, Jim, of being in the mud, if you notice this, is when Bledsoe went back to pass, when he faded back, the pass rushers couldn't get anything going. Timpson just runs what's called a little delay route. Looks like he's going to go someplace, but instead just circles up underneath the zone. The Dolphins a little bit too deep to prevent the first down.
So after the first down conversion throw by Bledsoe, it'll be first down for New England at the 18-yard line. Butts back in the game. Thompson out. Turner in motion. Butts with the football behind him. Good job of coming across to slow that play down by the Dolphins. And Butts will wind up with no gain.
Chris Singleton in on the tackle. A little retribution for that 15-yard penalty. One of the effective things of this drive, Jim, is not simply the fact they're getting into scoring position, but they're taking a lot of time off the clock now at 4:30 and running. And everybody that knows anything about the NFL says that the best way to stop the Miami offense is to keep Dan Marino on the bench.
Patriots have played their game plan to perfection in the first half, mixing the run with the pass, possessing the ball for long periods. 2nd and 10 into the end zone, picked off. Brisby was the intended receiver. The man who elects to bring it out of the end zone is number 23, Troy Vincent. So just as the Patriots averted a Dolphin scoring threat with an interception, now the Dolphins return the favor.
One of the problems here is that Bill Parcells pointed out with regards to Drew Bledsoe is the point that he made some bad decisions. Here was one of them. Inside the 20-yard line here, he throws into double coverage down near the goal line. Take a look near the goal line, right around here. That's double coverage. Look at the two Dolphins waiting on the ball. He forces it up there, and the tip by Adkins enables Vincent to come up with the football.
And Vincent, as you saw, got it out to the 9-yard line after choosing to bring it out of the end zone. So Adkins and Vincent teaming to force the interception, and the Patriots come up with no score. On first down, Terry Kirby with the ball for the Dolphins, and flags fly as Kirby gets across the 10 before being knocked down by Ray Agnew.
Marino was screaming back there, screaming for the face mask penalty, and then finally Gordon McCarter saw it and said, "Okay, Dan, I see it," and he threw the flag. One thing you'd have to say about Marino today, he is definitely into the game emotionally.
5-yard penalty, number 92 defense, repeat first down.
Marino has never played a blasé game in his life.
I think you're right. Ray Agnew with the penalty. Dan Marino with his arms out wants to know if he's got the right formation for what it is he wants to do. His frustration now with the coaching staff. He's frustrated at everybody, pointing out receivers and running backs and coaches.
Well, the Dolphins didn't play very well in their last 2 preseason games, so they needed to reshuffle things a little bit coming in here today. On first down from the 18, Kirby gets outside and gets good yards out to the 25-yard line before being knocked out of bounds. Vincent Brown was there, along with Harlan Barnett, the strong safety, to make the tackle for New England.
Well, this is certainly something that Don Shula wants to see. 5 yards of crack here at running the football. And Terry Kirby, as we mentioned at the outset, somebody that has to really establish himself as an NFL runner, not just a pass catcher.
There are the numbers on Kirby. McDuffie in the football game for Ingram at wide receiver for the Dolphins. The pitch again to Kirby. And again, good running room around the right side. He's all the way out to the 35-yard line. Clock will continue to run. Under 3 minutes now to go before halftime. Barnett again there to make the stop for New England.
Good job on the right side of the offensive line. Keith Jackson, not normally known for his blocking ability, is able to hook Sab, and that enables Kirby to get to the outside. And right there, maybe without the mud, he could have kept his feet and got additional yardage. Good job there by Ron Heller and Keith Jackson.
Dolphins are looking for much tougher, more aggressive play from Jackson this year. They freely state that they were disappointed in his play last year, and they'll enjoy seeing that block on the films. There's another first down for Miami. This time the ball at the 36, and now Marino wants to go down the middle of the air. Mark Ingram will go all the way. Marino's back. A 64-yard touchdown pass is the 299th of Dan Marino's career. Stoyanovich to tie the football game. Two minutes, 15 seconds to go before halftime, and we are even now on the scoreboard at 7 apiece.
Again, one of the advantages of being in the mud is the fact the pass rush can't get to him, and that enables him to come downfield and get deep. Watch when Marino goes back here. The pass rushers just can't get to him. They're churning in the mud. And I don't know how many quarterbacks in the league could make this throw right on the money. Catches him in stride on the post pattern. What a throw by Marino. And is he excited about it? Take a look at the short post. This really isn't that bad of coverage by Hurst. He beats him by about 1.5 yards, and he's thinking right there, I've got him covered. But that throw can't be any better. And you see Dan Marino, he's going to point to the sidelines as excited as he is. That's thanking Gary Stevens for the call. Touchdown. Yes. A little of that Wayne Gretzky with the arm pump, and he points over to Gary Stevens and says, nice call.
That drive for the Dolphins, more than 90 yards after the interception that stopped New England's threat. Crittenden with the kickoff gets across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Bledsoe pumps twice and finally looks for number 82 Vincent Brisby, and Brisby was unable to gather it in. J.B. Brown on the coverage. Clock reaches 2 minutes to go before halftime. It's 7 apiece, Dolphins, Pats, and we'll be back.
Boston.
Bledsoe. Oh, what a catch! Down. Spectacular catch by tight end Ben Coates. Coates' first catch of the football game, and what a way to reintroduce himself to the Dolphins secondary. Free safety Gene Atkins made the stop for the Dolphins.
When I asked Bill Parcells yesterday, I said, contrast him with Mark Bavaro, and he said, well, you know what? He's bigger and he's faster. And what hands there. Diving catch. Great job by Ben Coates.
First down in Dolphin territory. It's Leroy Thompson with the football. Chuck Bulla making the stop for Miami after Thompson has a gain of about 4 yards across the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. Clock running. Bledsoe hurries the Pats up to the line. And that's Kevin Turner coming out of the backfield to make the catch and move the chains with a first down for the Patriots at the 30-yard line. Frankie Smith makes the stop for the Dolphins. Patriots use a timeout. We mentioned that there was no tarp on the field when rain fell for an hour and a half prior to today's game. And as a result, the baseball infield section of the field is a quagmire. And you see players attempting to adjust to it on a play-by-play basis.
An interesting Bud Grant, the great coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and later, of course, the Minnesota Vikings, made the point that when it was muddy, when it was bad field conditions, that's when he wanted to throw, because all of the advantage was to the offense. They couldn't cover and they couldn't pass rush as effectively in quagmires.
Marino threw the 64-yard touchdown shot to Ingram out of that muddy quagmire. In it, Bledsoe completes to Vincent Brisby. J.B. Brown knocks him out of bounds. Patriots stop the clock with 1 tick under a minute to go before halftime.
I guess it's too easy to say that a year later he has a lot more experience, a lot more poise, et cetera, but it does look to me like he's much more in command of the offense. He doesn't look like he's questioning anything that comes in from the sidelines. He's much more self-assured than he was last year, and of course the issue too is that he's healthy.
Parcells' quote on Bledsoe in that regard, and it's typical Parcells, well, at least now he knows that there's a lot he doesn't know. It's better than last year when he didn't know how much he didn't know. Second down 3, play fake. Bledsoe has a man.
What a catch! That's
Kevin Turner held on. Troy Vincent with the hit. And Kevin Turner held on to the football.
What a terrific catch. He's got the out and up route on Brian Cox man for man. Troy Vincent, it appeared to me, had time to get in front and knock the ball down, but instead goes for the knockout and pays the price because Turner makes the catch.
And Turner goes off the field. And now the clock stops with 31 seconds to go.
Here you see Kevin Turner. Kevin Turner's a man of motion. He's going to go out and up on Brian Cox. Now, at the end of the play, you're going to see that Vincent is going to come over and lay the lick on him. He has him beat, but it looks like he has time to jump in front and bat the thing down. Instead, he goes for the big knockout, and Turner is going to have nothing of it. What a great catch by that young fullback, hanging on and taking that shot from Vincent. knowing that it's going to come and still making the catch.
Second or third terrific play in the football game for Kevin Turner, the third-year player out of Alabama, and after a one-play absence, he is back on the field.
Now that's some toughness there.
Vincent's got to be thinking, who is that guy?
Well, you know, the other thing, too, is we talk about Kevin Turner, another one of the unsung heroes. We talk about all the good things that he does. He's the lead blocker for Thompson and for Butts. He's a protector for the quarterback. And it seems, particularly in the last two series, every time Bledsoe's needed a completion, that's the man he's gone to.
And after Bledsoe's clock stopper, it is second down goal with, as you see, 31 seconds left. Bledsoe throws to Coates, and Coates holds on. Atkins was there on the coverage, but a big play from quarterback and tight end, and the Patriots get the touchdown before halftime.
Jim, you're absolutely right. That really wasn't a terrific throw at all. But Ben Coates makes the great catch.
Barr will come on to try to add point number 14. Matt Barr, one of the small number of Parcells approved place kickers in the league. And out of Zolak's hold, the kick is good. So the Patriots lead 14-7 with 25 seconds left before the half after this touchdown pass.
Pretty standard fare. Here it is. Coates is going to go to the corner. They're going to go with a play-action fake. Fullback's going to be in the flat. Here's the play-action fake. Watch as Bledsoe really has bad footing. The thing's a little bit discombobulated. He throws off of his back foot. Not a terrific throw at all, but here's the advantage of being 6'5" and a former basketball player. Ben Coates, very athletic catch. Nice job for the Patriots. This is the reason why they're starting to compare him to Eric Green and Shannon Sharp as being arguably one of the 2 or 3 best tight ends in the league.
So the Patriots show the capability of answering back. Now O'Neal's kick is taken inside the 5 by O.J. McDuffie. And McDuffie gets out across the 25, out across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Leroy Thompson making the stop for the Patriots. Marino will have 4 wide receivers on the field. They'll be going against New England's 6 defensive backs. Terry Kirby is the only setback in the game for the Dolphins. Make it 7 defensive backs now on the field for the Patriots. Plenty of time, as you might expect. Good shot. The number 81, McDuffie, he gets across the 50 to about the 47 before Corwin Brown makes the stop for the Patriots.
You notice Dan Marino right on top of things, too. He actually called timeout before the run was over. He was still in the run, and it was interesting because Gordon McCarter's telling him, wait, we got to see the plays dead. And then
no, stop the clock now. He's not going to run that much farther anyway.
And that man's not very happy. He's saying to himself, we've got 7 defensive backs. How could you let that happen? Ricky Reynolds is high-priced free agent. He's screaming at it, not pleased at all.
That's not what he was saying about Reynolds behind his back yesterday, when he was considerably more courteous to the new acquisition.
Well, there's something about the sidelines, Jim, that gives you the idea that it's very different. The emotions are high. Dan Marino the same way. Very, very passive yesterday, very casual, and all of a sudden he puts on the uniform, and it's a different situation. It's a Jekyll and Hyde.
The season has begun.
Good.
Parcells blistering Reynolds there, much the way he consistently blistered his rookie quarterback Bledsoe in front of Patriot crowds at Foxborough a year ago.
Well, in this case, I think it was very justified. You got 7 defensive backs. There's no way you should be giving up a nearly 20-yard gain there.
From the 47. It's time for as many as 3 plays, maybe only 2. Catch against the 7 defensive backs. This time it's Scott Miller who gets in front of Rod Smith downfield at the 26. And Parcells goes from furious to triply furious.
Dan Marino makes this throw before Miller looks clearly right here. What throw? Miller just now coming out of the break. Right on the money. What a tremendous throw.
And just like that, with a lengthy kickoff return and 2 Marino throws, the Dolphins create a scoring opportunity at the end of the second quarter. Stojanovic will try to kick this one through from 43 yards away. Second leading percentage kicker in NFL history knocks it through the middle. So 3 points hard-earned for Miami to close out the half, and the Dolphins go to the dressing room trailing 14-10. And to start the second half, O'Neal kicks it off for the Patriots. It'll be O.J. McDuffie, no make it Irving Spots near the goal line. Free agent rookie out of Northeast Louisiana. Gets it back across the 20 to the 23. He averaged 44 yards per kick return in preseason. Darrell Wren downfield to make the stop for the Patriots. And Marino with one last visit to Don Shula before coming onto the field to lead his troops in a 14-10 football game.
Yeah, I can't really emphasize enough, though, Jim, at the end of the first half. New England really had it all going for them. And so you're saying to yourself, you kick off with 26 seconds left. No big deal here. You know, we'll hold them. We'll get out of here. Instead, Marino hits 2 guards, gets them down in field goal position. And not that the momentum is completely back with Miami, but certainly they have to be feeling a lot better going in 14-10 than down 14-7.
Ball is just outside the 23 near the 24-yard line as Marino and the Dolphins get started. Terry Kirby gets the call on first down. And Kirby, who struggled to gain rushing yardage in the first half, is knocked down by Vincent Brown and Mike Pitts after a pickup of just a couple to the 20-yard line. "12 rushes, 42 yards for Kirby. Better than his preseason average, which was under 3 yards per carry.
Yeah, again, you know, it's one thing to give lip service to the running game, but there is a time when you actually have to do it. It appears here that Miami is making a much more conscious effort of getting the requisite balance.
Second down 8 from the 20. Kirby again to the right side, and no one on the New England defense is fooled. Pitts was there one more time, as was Tim Goad coming over from the nose tackle position.
Good pursuit on the part of the Patriots inside people now, forcing a 3rd and long.
Dime defense on the field for the Patriots. 6 defensive backs as Goad goes off, along with Dwayne Sabb. 4 wide receivers in the football game for Miami. O.J. McDuffie coming into the huddle just now. 7 yards to go for the first down. They need to get it out beyond the 33-yard line. Marino out of the shotgun with McDuffie in motion. Looking in the flat to Kirby, and the ball is batted away by Willie McGinnis. Number 55, the rookie linebacker, makes his first NFL big play.
We've talked about the fact that eventually we feel like, you know, Jim, that he would end up on the left side, be the left-end rusher, right-end rusher, rather. In this case, he is over Ron Heller. He gets the push back there, gets a piece of Dan Marino's ball, and forces Miami to go 3 and out.
So 12-year veteran Jim Arnold comes on for his second punt of the game. The first one, as you saw, got 38. Ray Crittenton deep. Crittenton goes back to his 30-yard line. Gets away from the first and second man, but is wrapped up as he gets across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Sean Hill, reserve cornerback of the Dolphins, downfield to make the stop. The stop, I should say. Gets the pitch for New England, and Butts is wrapped up by Chuck Bulla and taken out of bounds. And that time, Bulla, the inexperienced linebacker playing under pressure today in the absence of Dwight Hollier and the retired John Opperdahl, makes a satisfying stop. Chuck Bulla, 8th-round draft choice a couple years ago on the part of the Eagles. Practice squatter who played in 3 games for the Dolphins last year. He was quite calm in our discussions yesterday about the prospect of starting the game today. And he's held up reasonably well. Second down 10. Bledsoe looks down the middle to Coates, and Coates has a chance to go all the way. Breaks a tackle and goes on into the end zone. Touchdown, New England. Gene Atkins was the man with the last chance to prevent a 63-yard touchdown play, and he couldn't get it done.
And just as you mentioned Chuck Bulla, Jim, that's what happened. They caught him in coverage. It was an inside-out situation for Bulla. Had Ben Coates man for man, and Drew Bledsoe saw it, got him the ball, and he went the distance.
So on the last 2 possessions for New England, you've had huge plays by tight end Ben Coates, 4th-year player out of Livingstone, who is rapidly becoming one of the premier tight ends in the National Football League. Barr on to try to add the extra point. And the shocked Miami crowd just reaching its seats in the 3rd period as the Patriots stretch it back out to 21-10. 12 minutes, 33 seconds left in the third period. Patriots Lightning. They lead 21-10.
Hey.
Kevin Turner goes in motion, and that means the backer has to go with him. As a result, Ben Coates is going to be man for man with Chuck Bull, and that's a mismatch. The safeties are going to spread out here. Watch the middle of the field, and watch the throw that Bledsoe puts right on the hands of Ben Coates. What a terrific throw, and Coates does the rest. Great athletic ability, runs right through between stiff arms Atkins and goes the distance.
As we come back to live action, O'Neill's kick is taken by O.J. McDuffie. McDuffie gets past one man and then is run out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. Corwin Brown downfield to make the play for the Patriots, so the Dolphins suddenly find themselves behind 21-10, and the momentum which you so clearly established in favor of the Dolphins to begin this half, Todd Christensen, now belongs to the men in blue.
Yeah, the fact that they went 3 and out really hurt them, and let's face it, Bledsoe and Coates, man, that was sweet.
Huge play for Bledsoe. Second touchdown pass of the game for him. Dolphins now with first down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Marino, who had a hot first half, looking to get things started here. Play fake. Deep throw down the middle, and it's number 80, Irving Fryer, who makes the catch and gets across the 45 to the 46-yard line, but this will be brought back.
Irving Fryer last year, a 1,000-yard season, one of only 7 players who have ever done that in history, to have 1,000-yard seasons with 2 different teams. Take a look at that in the first 5 years of his career, only 31 catches per season. Now in the last 4, 60 per season, like fine wine, getting better.
This was an incomplete call.
Yes,
they say that Fryer did not make the legal catch. It'll be second down 10. This time Marino drops straight back. Almost sacked for the first time today, but gets it away to Terry Kirby. And the Dolphins salvage a 6-yard gain out of what was almost a sack. It was Tim Goad who got in on top of Marino and almost got the sack.
Here are the number of people. Look at the company that Irving Fryer keeps with regards to 2,000-yard seasons and 2 separate teams. A lot of very good players there. James Lofton, potential Hall of Famer. Wes Chandler, of course. Harold Jackson. Art Pell, the great one with the Raiders and the Jets. Del Schaffner, and of course the exuberant Tommy McDonald.
I think you would make the case that Fryer, for all of his accomplishments, is the least accomplished name on that list.
Good point.
And he's been a very good player in 2 locations. Third down, 5 yards to go. Dolphins need to get the football to the 31 for a first down. Marino again under pressure. And it's almost picked off. Myron Guyton had it in his hands and couldn't hold on. Mark Ingram was the intended receiver. Willie McGinnis was the man who put the pressure on Marino.
Well, what's happening now is they're starting to get some pressure, and he wanted to throw this ball just a little bit sooner. Myron Guyton able to sit there on Ingram, wait till the last minute. He's frustrated. He knows he should have had that one.
Jim Arnold now comes on to kick it away for the Dolphins, and an angry Dan Marino comes to the sideline. Ray Crittenden waiting at his 25-yard line. Crittenden backpedals to the 20. Now steps through a gap and is belted and knocked to the turf at about the 26. It was Frankie Smith roaring downfield to make the stop for the Dolphins. 11:14 to go in the third. 21-10. We'll be back.
Did Dad go to Jared for the Pandora?
No one would ever accuse Dan Marino of being a stoic. Seconds ago, this was his reaction to his offensive lineman in no uncertain terms, telling him that you got to keep me off my back.
That was after Marino was pressured on both second and third down in the Dolphins' last possession. Now on first down for the Patriots, Drew Bledsoe, a little late delivering, and Troy Vincent breaks up the pass intended for Vincent Brisby.
One of the things with regards to Vincent, of course, is he had the knee problems. Good day for him to come back on soft turf. You know, Bill Parcells must have said something at halftime. I mean, personally, I think that halftime speeches are overrated in the 11 years I played in the NFL. But clearly, whatever he said was the right thing. The defense came out, stopped him on 3 plays, came back with a touchdown, and then really stopped him again.
Indeed, the first 4 minutes of the second half belonged to the Patriots. On second down, Butts with the football has a gain of just a couple. Obviously, the Dolphins came in here loaded up today to stop the running game, to give Chuck Bullis some help at middle linebacker in stopping the thrusts of Marion Butts. Marco Coleman with the tackle there.
Well, of course, in the process of doing that, that's enabled him to get some play-action passes that clearly have been successful. That's less than 2 yards a carry, so give Bullock credit. He's been doing a pretty good job.
They've done a good job of bottling up Bucks. They've had trouble with this man, Drew Bledsoe. Third down, 8 yards to go. Turner in motion out of the backfield. Bledsoe looking for Coates again, and this time the pass was poorly thrown as Singleton was there on the coverage.
Well, Bledsoe had decided before at the snap of the ball that he was going to Coates, but Coates could not weave his way through the 3 linebackers there in the middle of the field, and as a result, Bledsoe couldn't come off to a secondary receiver.
So it's 4th down 8, and as Pat O'Neill goes back to kick it for the New England Patriots, Scott Miller, 4th-year player out of UCLA, is deep to receive for the Dolphins. Miller waiting at his 35-yard line. Off the side of O'Neill's foot, it lands outside the 40, bounces to about the 39, where it will be downed by the Patriots. In case you're wondering why Scott Miller was deep to receive that last punt for the Dolphins, it's because O.J. McDuffie, the regular punt returner, has a right knee sprain and will not return to the football game. So the Dolphins lose their 3rd wide receiver and their punt returner. On 1st down, Marino has a wide open Irving Fryer and gets him down to the 22-yard line. Blown coverage for the Patriots. Fryer all by himself. Chris Slade.
This is a terrific effort by Marino because Slade actually is able to get around. There, nice move, gets around Richmond Webb. Marino buys time and just gets the ball off. Once again, the advantage of the quick release. Now, why Maurice Hurst just lets him go here, there it is. The hook and go just completely fools Myron Guyton. And it ends up being a pop-up, and it's not the touchdown they would have wanted. But because of the rush, I'm sure Marino will take it.
Rookie free agent running back Irving Spikes, number 40, now in the tailback position for the Dolphins. Spikes has the football and about 5 yards as the Dolphins punch it down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. 5-yard pickup for Spikes, 2nd down 5 as the Dolphins try to regain momentum lost in the first minutes of the 2nd half. Again, Spikes with the football, and now flags flies. He goes inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line.
When 2 different officials throw the yellow flag at the same time in the middle, you know that's holding.
And as referee Gordon McCarter gets ready to mark it off.
Holding, number 65, offense, 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Don Shula replaces Irving Spikes with Terry Kirby again. So the Dolphins with their regular personnel now back into the football game. And Marino makes the call on what becomes 2nd down, 15 yards to go. Ball at the 26-yard line. They need to get to an 11 or to the 11 for a 1st down. Under pressure again. Marino just high. And off the outstretched fingertips of Keith Byers. Mike Jones was the man who was pressuring Marino from his defensive end position.
Circle route by Keith Byers to the left of your screen, but once again, Marino under duress. You can see Slade has him by the leg, and then Jones hits him high. He was lucky to get the ball off at all. Because of the fact they've had problems running, this is what happens. The defensive line now gets to tee off and go after the quarterback.
Patriots staff regarded their pass rush as anemic a year ago. They hope that the addition of McGinnis can make it better. So far, they've been getting it from a variety of different sources early in the 2nd half. Now on 3rd down 15, 6 defensive backs in the game for New England, and Dan Marino uses a timeout to be certain he's got the right play call. Patriots lead 21-10. Dolphins are at the 26 with 3rd and 15. We'll be back. Back live in Joe Robbie Stadium. Big situation for the Miami Dolphins now. 8:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. They trailed 14-10 at halftime. Since then, the Patriots have stretched it to 21-10. Dan Marino facing 3rd and 15 at the 26. He'll operate out of the shotgun. Marino to this point 5 of 6 out of the shotgun, make it 6 of 7. And Keith Jackson's first catch of the day is a big Dolphin touchdown. He beat strong safety Harlan Barnett, man up in the end zone for the touch. And the Dolphins will go for two to try to get to within a field goal of New England. So in the wake of Dan Marino's 300th career touchdown pass, his first career effort at a two-point conversion. Is in there.
Great call. Great call. Everybody's waiting for him to throw the ball. Everybody's up on their knuckles trying to rush the passer. They just push him forward. Great call by Don Shula, Gary Stevens.
Well, 4 years ago, when they drafted Richmond Webb and Keith Sims, they were thinking of a left side of the line that could do exactly that. First, the touchdown.
We haven't been talking about Keith Jackson much. He hasn't been part of it, but here he just runs the seam route against the safety. Take a look, though, at Dan Marino and how he buys time as he goes backwards and steps up in the pocket because the route takes so long. Take a look at Marino and his ability to buy time, stepping forward again, finally flicking the ball downfield to Jackson over the shoulder. Nice catch by number 88. Number 2 in history. Only the second man in the history of the National Football League to throw for 300 touchdowns in a career. And to say he's pumped is an understatement.
And there's a look at the vital numbers on that statistic. Fran Tarkenton, 342 career touchdown passes. That's the record. He did it in 217 games. In his 157th game as a Dolphin quarterback, Marino becomes the second ever to throw 300 touchdown passes. And now the crowd here in Joe Robbie Stadium responds to that announcement. So momentum switches once again. Back in favor of the Dolphins. Stojanovic readies to kick from the 30. Ray Crittenton and Corey Kroon deep for the Patriots. This is Crittenton. Excellent open field tackle by James Saxon, the reserve fullback, number 22.
And take a look at the numbers right there. Again, the emphasis on 11 years. Not only that, Jim, 11 years, 60 games less than Fran Tarkenton to accrue that total. Amazing.
First down for the Patriots. Bledsoe completes in the flat to Kevin Turner, and Turner, the battling Patriot fullback out of Alabama. Second down, less than a yard to go for New England after the measurement. Bledsoe down the middle. Number 82, Vincent Brisby with the catch. Big yardage across midfield to the 46-yard line of the Dolphins before Gene Atkins finally made the stop.
Once again, the situation with the Miami Dolphins are going for a two-deep zone, and that opens up the middle of the field. Play action pass, 2nd and 1. Great call. Look at this. Look at the middle of the field. Gene Atkins there makes the stop, but he's so far downfield that Brisby has a lot of yardage there between the hash marks.
Patriots have been extremely effective throwing on first down throughout the game. Some brilliant play calls from Patriot offensive coordinator Ray Perkins. Another play fake. This one goes over Brisby and is picked off. Gene Atkins making the big play with the pickoff for the Dolphins. And the second highest paid Dolphin, brand new to Miami, runs toward the corner of the field to play to the crowd a little bit.
You saw the frustration of Parcells, and he's chatting with him right now. He just threw the ball a little bit behind him. Once again, play action fake. Had a good situation. Watch, it's just going to go over the shoulder here of Brisby. Throws it just a little bit behind, reaches back, can't get it. Right into the arms of Gene Atkins.
Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Snap through Marino's legs. Free ball. Flag is down as Mike Jones of the Patriots grabs it.
Now this will be interesting.
There is not a foul. I intended to throw the beanbag. That is a backward pass from the snap from center. That's all we've got. It's a loss of yardage. Second down. Recovery. New England first down.
Well, you can't blame a man for making mistakes if he admits them in public. And Gordon McCarter has just admitted to millions his small error, and then he made another one and then corrected that.
Well, certainly strange. He just goes through the hands of Dan Marino. Right there, it goes through his legs. There's no penalty. There's no nothing. It's just that Gordon McCarter, as he mentioned, you're right, Jim. He mentioned it openly to everybody, the thousands that are here. I meant to go for the beanbag. You see it all the time. The officials throw it. Whenever there's a fumble or an interception, that's what he intended to do. Now, the argument over here with Sheila Marino, what's the discussion? There was no penalty. There was no nothing. It was Marino and Jeff Dellenbach's mistake. It wasn't Gordon McCarter's. He admitted to his mistake.
Yeah, you can't exactly blame it on an inexperienced center. Dellenbach is in his 10th year now with the Dolphins and has worked with Marino a great deal in the past, although he was for a long time the backup to Ulenek and was also used as a guard. And now this is a huge play because it negates the Atkins interception, negates the momentum the Dolphins gained from it, and gives the ball back to the Patriots in scoring territory at the 24.
You know, there's a word you hear a lot, but it applies here. That's bizarre. That was a bizarre play.
On first down, the Patriots go to the ground with Leroy Thompson. He gets away from one man and gets outside for a gain of almost 9 yards. Doug Skeen blocking downfield to make room for Thompson, and he broke a Chuck Bullet tackle before he was finally brought down by Michael Stewart.
Here comes the speed of Thompson to the outside. You see Bullet trying in pursuit there, just head-to-head with him. Here he reaches, but Thompson is able to break through the tackle of Bullet and get that additional yardage there, setting up second and about 4.
And you saw Skeen, number 74 downfield, the second-year player out of Michigan, who has knocked Eugene Chung, former #1 draft choice, out of a starting position on that Patriot offensive line. Second down, about 4, and it's Marion Butts with the football, and Butts, who has not been able to gain big yardage today, has a couple, falling forward to about the 17.
There it is once again. We mentioned less than 2 yards per carry.
They give him a gain of 1 on that play and make it third down. 2 yards to go. Well, it's a long 2 or short 3. Double tight ends in the game for New England. Both Ben Coates and John Burke in the football game. The lone wideout is Bisbee, and he comes in motion back to the ball. There's Kevin Turner again. Another big play for Turner, and a first down goal situation for the Patriots inside the Miami 10.
This is really a poor job of defense here. You got to figure that Turner and what he's been doing up to this point. Right there, I think it's Singleton that has to get across, but instead Ben Coates does a nice job of blocking him off. He can't get to the outside and cover Turner, and I can't say enough for the play of number 34 today.
Kevin Turner, third-year player out of Alabama, has come up with a series of big plays for the Dolphins today. So make it first and goal now, the ball at the 7-yard line. Dolphins blitzing. Turner hitting up the middle in the same spot where the blitz came up to the line of scrimmage, and Larry Webster makes the stop for the Dolphins after a gain of about a yard. Slight limp for Turner as he comes back to the huddle.
Body language of the Dolphins is not deceptive here. They're a little bit frustrated, a little bit tired, but it's important here that they force New England, if they can, to kick the field goal and keep them out of the end zone.
Well, certainly after Atkins' interception, the Dolphins had to be thinking of tying the game or getting back into the lead. Now they go down by 9 again as Bledsoe finds a wide-open Michael Timpson at the back of the end zone.
Give the offensive line credit, and again, we've mentioned the mud, but here's a good situation. The offensive line gives him plenty of time to sit and wait until Timpson can clear the zone and get open near the back of the end zone.
And the Patriots will send Barr on to try to stretch the lead to 10.
Now notice the Barr, look at where Barr is off to the side now. He's opted, look at this, he's opted to, and he can't do this if he wants on the grass instead of down the middle. So he doesn't slip and fall like he did the last time.
Gets the ball snapped from the hash mark and kicks it out of Zolak's hold through the middle of the goalpost to stretch the New England lead back to 10 at 28-18.
The great pass protection. Take a look at Timpson here. He is just going to run a basic slant route in the back of the end zone. Vincent actually has pretty good coverage, but he is going to collide back here with Atkins, and that's going to enable Timpson to get open. He actually bumps him off right there. Bledsoe sees it, drills it right in the middle. Now here you get a closer look. Vincent actually in pretty good coverage, shoves him to the inside where he thinks he has help, but instead of getting bumped there, he gets bumped by his own man. In that case, I'm sorry, it was not Atkins. It was instead Michael Stewart. Safety. Passing the touchdown.
Matt O'Neill's kickoff is taken by Irving Spikes inside the Dolphin 10. And Spikes picks his way out across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. So the Dolphins will begin from there, trailing now 28-18 after the tackle by Vernon Lewis. Next Sunday, NBC Sports presents an action-packed NFL doubleheader beginning at 12:30 Eastern with NFL Live. Then most of you will see these same Dolphins taking on the Green Bay Packers, winners today over the Vikings, that game in Milwaukee. Others will see the Bills take on the Patriots. In game 2 of our doubleheader, most of you will see the Battle of Texas as the Oilers take on the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys, plus regional action. So check your local listings for the game in your area. Dan Marino and the Dolphins now in the hole again, down 10 points as they start from their 21 with 4:15 to go in the third. Number 41, Keith Byers, has his first catch of the day, and he's upended by Ricky Reynolds after a gain of about 4.
But there's something significant about that. That is his 104th consecutive game with a catch, and it took clear into the third quarter, rather, for him to be able to do that. That's pretty significant, I would say, for a running back. 104 consecutive. That's 7th, tied for 7th on the all-time list.
And virtually everybody else on the list is a wide receiver, right?
Yep.
It'll be second down, 7 yards to go. After Reynolds held Byers to 3 yards with that outstanding open field tackle. Marino dropping back, pressure again. Patriots have got a lot of pressure on Marino in the second half, and now the flag flies on an interference call downfield. Ingram, the intended receiver.
Pass interference, number 37 defense, first down.
Does this fall under the new incidental contact rule?
Now, this would definitely have to be interference if he grabbed him. But take a look at the end of the play. When he looks back, what they teach the receiver, the defensive back to do is now he looks back. Where are his hands? Now right here he looks back. Okay, there's the right hand that came back, but I'd have to call that incidental contact. I don't like that call. Particularly in light of the fact that Ingram probably could have come up with the ball anyway. Mike Parcells has a legitimate beef.
Penalty produces a big gainer for the Dolphins. Ball goes into New England territory at the 49-yard line. Now another flag flies.
That is an illegal substitution. Number 83 came into the huddle, communicated with the quarterback, and left without playing it down. That is 5 yards, first down.
83 would be Scott Miller, the receiver who figures to get a little more playing time now after the injury to O.J. McDuffie.
Gordon McCarter certainly hasn't had a dull day, has he?
Gordon is thinking right now. Now the beanbag is in the left pocket, and the penalty flag is in the right pocket. 5-yard marker. Move it back to the 46 of the Dolphins. Marino throws behind the intended receiver. Chris Slade was there on the coverage, and Kirby was the man who fell down trying to reach back for the ball. Crowd quiet. 3:24 to go in the third. They've gotten the excitement of seeing Marino throw 2 touchdown passes to reach the milestone of 300 career TD passes. They can rest secure in the notion that their quarterback, coming back from Achilles tendon surgery, is healthy enough to be a factor, as always, in the National Football League. But they trailed the Patriots 28-18 after 3 touchdown passes by Drew Bledsoe. On 2nd and 15, Marino looking for the screen. It's almost picked off after being batted into the air. Marty Moore, number 58, is the man who got a hand on the football.
Well, interesting point here is that Todd Collins is hurt, and that's the reason that Marty Moore, Mr. Irrelevant, is playing. But we've called his name a number of times to come up with some big plays, and here that is too. Trying to get the middle screen, and Marty Moore is able to bat it up in the air and negate the play.
We called him Mr. Irrelevant. He was the 222nd and last player taken in the draft. Patriots taking him with a pick they got from Dallas Cowboys in the Hugh Millen deal. And And because of his distinction as the last player taken in the draft, Newell was taken to San Clemente, California for a big celebration. He happens to win player of the year. On 3rd and 15, Marino looking deep, and he's got a man. Touchdown! Irving Fryer. 54 yards from Marino to Irving Fryer. Career TD pass number 301 for Dan. This time the Dolphins will go for 1. Stoyanovich here to kick to try to get Miami back to within 3 at 28-25. It's good. Fascinating game. 3:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. New England clinging to a 3-point lead over Miami at 28-25. And another look at Irving Fryer getting loose for the TD.
Well, what happens here is Maurice Hurst, because of all the time he's buying right here, he's just hesitating. Nothing's happening. Now he stops, and he stops with him, but the ball is thrown completely over his head. Hurst has no idea. He never looks back, and that enables Marino to throw the long touchdown to Fryer. Take a look in the middle. Number 69 is who you're looking for. Number 69, Keith Sims, right there. Now he's laying on top of him with his knee. You can see his knee right there on his neck. The ball is long thrown. My guess is at that point, that's when Jones retaliates. Marino turns to look at it. You can see clearly, good call by Gordon McCarter, because the fight occurred long after the ball was thrown. Touchdown was good. Good job by the officials.
And Irving Fryer, who was for 9 years a New England Patriot and a teammate of Maurice Hurst's for 3 years, now has a touchdown against his former teammates. His 2nd catch of the day, totaling 94 yards. This one, a 54-yard TD grab.
Keith Sims trying to explain what the situation is. In those situations, it's always a matter of what they refer to as manhood. He had his knee in his neck. The guy kicked him, so he had to go after it. A lot of cases there you could see earlier Don Shula saying, this makes no sense, Keith. That almost cost us a touchdown. I'm sure that's what his coaches are saying to him right now. We can't afford that.
Keith Sims, who combines with Richmond Webb to make up that formidable left side of the offensive line for the Dolphins. Both of them having a pretty good day. Pete Stoyanovich ready to kick it off. Crittenden and Kroom deep for New England. Ray Crittenden at the 5-yard line. Big hit back at the 25 on 1st down 10 for the Patriots from their 25. Little piece of misdirection. It is Thompson coming back to the right for a pickup of about 3. Chuck Klingbeil reacting over from nose tackle to make the stop for Miami.
Now, it's interesting, the last time, if you recall, when they had the touchdown and they came within 3, the crowd was going nuts. Now, I think one of the reasons they're not quite as animated is because they have not really proven that they can stop Drew Bledsoe. It's almost as if the crowd is anticipating he's going to make another great throw.
At left defensive end, number 91, Jeff Cross, who missed almost the entire preseason with a calf muscle injury, comes on the field to play. Bledsoe dumps it down the middle to number 36, Leroy Thompson. Brian Cox makes the stop for Miami. It's a pickup of about 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 for the 1st down.
And a pretty big 3rd down call here. 3rd and a long 1. If they give the ball back here, you can hear the rising of the crowd. If they give the ball back here, not a good time. The Patriots really need to get the first here.
Klingbeil comes back on the field and Cross comes off. 3rd down, make it 1 yard to go for the Patriot 1st down. Bledsoe over the middle. He's got 1st down yardage to tight end Ben Coates. Michael Stewart was there, but Coates was able to reel in the bullet from Bledsoe.
That's what it was, too. That's a good description. Sometimes you hear that say bullet, but that applies there. They came with the blitz. He throws it quickly. Watch number 87 is going to come over to the middle. Bulla on the blitz. He sees it right there, sits down, gets clobbered. Now watch this. All these bodies, 3 bodies. Look how strong he is to push himself forward and get the yardage back that initially he didn't have. The hyperbole where Ben Coates is concerned was not overdone.
He is your classic all-purpose tight end, not one of your situational players. This guy's an every down tight end. On 1st down, Bledsoe throws in the flat. Kevin Turner with another catch. Pickup of about 4. Michael Stewart knocks him out of bounds.
These seemingly meaningless catches add up, Jim. It becomes a situation where you say, okay, big deal, it was only 4 yards, but it starts to weigh on the psyche of the defensive backs. Can't this guy throw an incompletion? Can't we bat something down? Isn't there something we can do where this is concerned? Turner just continues to come after you and wear you down.
Inside 1 minute to go in the third. Bledsoe and the Patriots hoping to keep the football, work a little clock, and maybe put a little more distance between themselves and the Dolphins. Turner in motion. Bledsoe fakes to Thompson and looks deep downfield. Bumping between Brisby and Troy Vincent, and no flag as it's incomplete inside the 10. Atkins was there to help Vincent with the coverage.
This is going to be the most difficult call this year in the National Football League. What is and what is not incidental contact? Running stride for stride. The right hand comes out, the left hand comes out. There they elbow and they jostle. Both of them right there. It looks like from that vantage point that Vincent actually had Brisby's left hand in his shoulder, but that's not how the official saw it.
Now it will be third down, 6 yards to go. Need to get the football to midfield for a first down.
Blitz.
And Bledsoe gets away from the blitz, releases the ball. Perhaps not a great decision, but the Patriots get it back. Brian Cox was the man who got in on top of Drew Bledsoe and couldn't bring him down. Leroy Thompson was the one who wound up with the football. And it was a fumble.
Here's Brian Cox coming on the blitz, and even though he's not able to come up with the play, he forces Bledsoe into something he didn't want to do. The tackle doesn't come off quick enough there. That Skeen, who doesn't come back and get him. That's the advantage of being 6'5" and 235. He shakes it off. But in that case, the Patriots were lucky to get that ball back.
Hey, a Haynes man himself. My agent turned me on to these shirts.
We are back in Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Jim Lampley along with Todd Christensen. The numbers there show you New England's 28-25 margin over the Miami Dolphins. It has been a seesaw battle, living up to that shock-worn term in every way. And now to begin the fourth quarter, the New England Patriots, who have just been stopped by Miami, kick the football away. Pat O'Neill puts it in the air. Scott Miller is coming up looking for a fair catch. Knocked away from the path of the ball. Miller turns around and looks for a flag and gets it. And the man who was downfield a little bit too eagerly was Vernon Lewis, second-year cornerback out of Pittsburgh, and he's the one on whom the flag has been thrown.
Well, in fairness to him, even though it is a good call, he's doing what he's supposed to do. The punt was poor, and Miller does a good job of hurrying up because he doesn't want to let it bounce and get 15 yards field position. And so it's one of those unfortunate situations where Lewis collides with him, and that's the way it goes.
Rookie kicker kicking under pressure for the Patriots, didn't hit a good one and set up the situation in which Lewis is going to be called for the foul. 3 touchdown passes by Drew Bledsoe of New England, 3 touchdown passes, career number 299, 300, and 301 for Dan Marino of the Dolphins. Big plays galore on both sides. And the difference, 3 points as New England tries to hold a 3-point lead.
Fair catch interference. Number 43 on the kicking team. 15 yards. First down.
It'll set up good field position for the Dolphins.
Right here, there he comes down, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's trying his best to get out of the way right there, but he can't do it. And that's why it's unfortunate that has to be a 15-yard penalty, because clearly he wasn't trying to hurt him. But that's unfortunate.
The result is that Miami will start from its 46-yard line as it tries to move into position for the possible tying field goal or go-ahead touchdown. Fire in motion behind Marino. Terry Kirby with the ball. Dolphin running game has shown just a little bit of juice. And this time Kirby has a gain of about 3 before Harlan Barnett makes the stop for the Patriots. Patriots are looking at a visit from Buffalo next week. Dolphins have a tough trip to Milwaukee to play Green Bay. One or the other, perhaps both teams looking to contend in the AFC East. And opening day victory seems mandatory for whichever team is going to have the inside track toward contention.
Well, I think a point was made, and that was that when you lose on the road in this division, it's never an upset because the teams are that good.
A gain of 4 on first down for Kirby. Now Kirby pitches it back to Marino, who looks downfield to a wide open fire. It'll be touchdown pass number 4 for Dan Marino. Dolphins lead. And Stoyanovich will try to stretch the lead to 4.
Taking a page out of Barr's book, too. Opting not for the dirt. Good decision.
And as the result of having gotten a 2-point conversion earlier in the game, the Dolphins have a lead by the margin of more than a field goal.
The key,
look back at the TD.
The key here, right here, is Maurice Hurst. He's looking in the backfield right here, and as soon as he sees the running play and the handoff, he takes it easy here and starts to come up here in his back pedal. As a result, you're going to see Fryer, who's going to cut completely across the field and be wide open. Irving Fryer does a good job of making it look like it's a run, trying to cut him off, not trying too hard. Then all of a sudden, Hurst looks in the backfield. That's the one thing that they always tell cornerbacks not to do. Don't look in the backfield, and it costs a touchdown.
Stoyanovich will kick it away for Miami. Dolphins lead by 4, 32-28. Crittenton takes it for New England, just inside the 10. Gets outside the 25. Across the 30 to the 32-yard line before he's finally knocked out of bounds. Good effort by Ray Crittenton. Muhammad Oliver made the tackle for the Dolphins. And Marino now with 302 career touchdown passes. He came into today with 298. He's got Fryer twice, Ingram once, and Jackson once for 4 TD passes today.
Not that he would throw 4 touchdown passes in every game, but you look at that graphic, you could speculate that it would probably be somewhere in November of '95 when he might catch Fran Tarkenton.
If he stays healthy till then. Butts and Turner in the backfield behind Bledsoe. Over the middle to Coates. First down yardage across the 40 to the 44.
I would look for Coates more and more.
Bledsoe's pass batted and almost picked off. Intended for Coates. It was Bulla who knocked it into the air.
And give him credit. Clearly he's in there to be a run stopper. Coates with the inside release. They have a bracket on him. Bulla comes across. Look at that. Diving makes the play. Great effort there by the youngster. And as you mentioned, he didn't talk about pressure at all. He said, look how excited he is with those Mike Singletary eyes paying attention. He's thrilled to be here.
Second down 10. Dolphins offside. Leroy Thompson with the football has a gain just of a few, so New England will in all likelihood take the penalty if it goes against Larry Webster of the Dolphins, as I suspect it will.
We mentioned again Chuck Bulla, somebody who probably wouldn't have made the team but for the retirement of John Offerdahl and the injury to Dwight Hollier. This is somebody who's a family man.
Offside, number 94 defense, 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
Now, maybe you're wondering why Todd made such a big point of saying that Chuck Bulla is a family man. Well, it's because we wanted to set up a picture of the tattoo on Bulla's left shoulder, which lists all of the members of his extended Bulla family. Dad and Mom getting 4th billing there. Leroy Thompson is wrapped up after a gain of a couple. Chris Singleton there to make the stop for the Dolphins. An increasingly active Chris Singleton, playing against his former teammates and the team that drafted him #1 back in 1990.
Well, as we mentioned, he was the leading tackler in the preseason, and he has had some close misses today on some sacks, but he has made some tackles and has done a good job along with the other backers in stuffing the run.
Still more than 12 minutes to go, but a big play coming up now for New England. 3rd down 4. Football at the 50. Got to get it to the 46 for a first down. Ray Crittenden in the game, the 3rd wide receiver for New England. Timpson in motion. Bledsoe throws it out to number 82, Vincent Brisby. Clutch throw, good catch. J.B. Brown with the stop. First down, New England.
And the second effort was significant, Jim, because he caught the ball right at the stick. Right at the stick. If he's dropped in his tracks right there, that's not a first down. He needs to get to the 46. He's going to have the little short hook here. Brown's all over. Now he catches it right at the stick. If he doesn't make the extra effort right here, he doesn't get the first. Good job by Brisby.
At the 44 of the Dolphins, as you see the numbers on Brisby. First down, New England. Plenty of time for Bledsoe. Deep down the sideline. Brisby drops. Flag was down back near the 30-yard line as J.B. Brown was working against Brisby.
I think it appeared to me that he had a hook and go going, and he got chucked well beyond the 5-yard limit. But he's got to be frustrated with himself because what a tremendous deep throw that was, right on the mark.
Oh, you can't lay it out any better than that.
Pass interference. Number 37 defense. Automatic first down.
Take a look at the isolation. Here's going to have a little bit of a move to the inside, like the hook move. Now he takes off, and he just flat out bumps him right there. I would have thought at that point that that would have been the illegal chuck rule as opposed to pass interference, but the officials opted to call it pass interference. But either way, Brisby should have caught that ball.
They mark it at the 29-yard line, the spot of the foul. And the Patriots continue to move with the first down there. Thompson again with the football, and Thompson getting a little bit more action than Marion Butts at this moment in the second half of the game. As a pickup of 2, it'll be 2nd down 8.
Well, for whatever reason, Marion Butts is really starting to look sluggish, but I'd have to say that the running game for New England, quite frankly, is looking sluggish.
Well, Butts was bothered by a knee injury in preseason. Thompson is healthy, so he expected to get a lot of work in these first couple of weeks. Marco Coleman made the stop for the Dolphins. Call it a gain of only 1. It's 2nd down 9 at the 28. This time it was number 99, Chuck Klingbeil, who may have gotten too far into the neutral zone.
Encroachment. Number 99 defense. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
One thing we haven't mentioned here, Jim, is something that you pointed out earlier. 91 degrees. Now we're heading into the 4th quarter. One of Bill Walsh's axioms was that the key to winning in the National Football League is the pass rush in the 4th quarter. These people are starting to get tired. The game is running long, and then things start to get a little bit sloppy. That has to be a concern, actually, for both sides, because the Dolphins clearly have not been putting on much of a pass rush. And, of course, in Marino's case, neither of the Patriots.
Triple wide receivers in the game for New England. Timpson in motion behind Bledsoe. Plenty of time for Drew. He looks for Crittenden in the corner of the end zone.
Oh, what a catch!
He's got it.
What a catch! Oh, Ray Crittenden.
Heck of a choice by Bledsoe. He got Crittenden working against dime back Frankie Smith, a less experienced player, and Crittenden got just enough room to make the great catch.
Oh, man. Man, oh, man. You know what's amazing about that, Jim? The guy doesn't play that much. He came off the bench cold to make that catch. It's not like he's in there for a bunch of plays. Wow.
Second-year receiver out of Virginia Tech. Great throw by Bledsoe. The kick is good by Matt Barr, and the Patriots have the lead again. New England 35, Miami 32, after Bledsoe's 4th touchdown pass of the day.
Unstoppable.
Patriots prepare to kick off, leading 35-32. O'Neill's kick bounces in front of Scott Miller. Miller picks it up and finds yardage across the 20 to about the 26-yard line before he's knocked down by number 30, Corwin Brown. Dolphins now start again with 10:02 to go. Ball at the 27. And on first down, it's Terry Kirby with a couple out close to the 30-yard line. 4 touchdown passes apiece for Marino and Bledsoe today, and there are the numbers.
You know what? And what's amazing is you just pointed out, there's 9:45 left in the game. Both of these quarterbacks were as good as advertised.
Marino averaging more than 20 yards per completion. And that's been against a fairly persistent pass rush in the second half from New England. They have managed to get pressure on him in a way that few teams ever have. And they do it again. And he completes again. To Irving Fryer into Patriot territory, out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Fryer with 2 touchdown grabs already today. Ingram had one. Keith Jackson got one as well. First down 10 from the 38. This one batted into the air and almost picked off. And again, Marty Moore, number 58, the rookie out of Kentucky, was the man who got his hands on the ball.
A lot of time for Dan Marino. He looked around. He opted for the third receiver. Take a look. He looks outside. Then he looks to the inside. Now he pump fakes. Look at that. He bats it up. Almost gets a piece of it. Good play by Moore to prevent the completion.
Marty Moore has been anything but irrelevant here today.
You know what, Jim? It's always exciting to see somebody beat the odds.
Dan Marino's last 3 completions to Irving Fryer have accounted for 136 yards. This time Marino gets away from pressure but throws over Keith Byers out in the flat. And it was Dwayne Sabb who managed to get in and put some pressure on Marino that time, and Tim Goad is down in the dirt. Tim Goad, the New England nose tackle, has left the game after being poked in the eye. Marino out of the shotgun. He's been tremendously effective today out of the gun. That's only the second incompletion he has thrown from that formation. 7 of 9 for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns out of the shotgun, but that critical miss. Jim Arnold comes on to kick it for Miami, and Ray Crittenden goes down to the 10 to wait for New England. Arnold trying to nail it high and keep it short of the goal line, and he does. Ball is downed by number 20, Muhammad Oliver, and they'll mark it, I think, just inside the 5-yard line. Patriots protecting a 3-point lead, and Drew's going to throw on first down. It was batted into the air, intended for Vincent Brisby. J.B. Brown was there for the Dolphins. And now, after that call, the Patriots face 2nd and 10 from their 8.
And right there, that shows, Jim, I think, the lack of confidence that Bill Parcells has in his running game right now. Here they are deep in their own territory. You're thinking, hey, we got to go off tackle. We got to do something here. Get out. But Bill Parcells clearly knows that Drew Bledsoe has the hot hand, and he has some confidence in his second-year quarterback.
And Butts, when last we checked, had only 25 yards on 15 carries. Miami came here expecting to have to stop the run, and they've done it. This time Bledsoe comes back to favorite target Ben Coates, and Coates breaks away across the 30 and near the 35-yard line. Michael Stewart wrestling with Coates, but another huge play for the rapidly developing New England tight end.
Tom Olivedani, the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, said that one of the things that makes Coates special as a tight end is what he can do after the catch. A lot of tight ends in the league, all they do is fall down. But look at Coates. He runs through 3 different tacklers and shows the speed to get upfield, eluding tacklers again, and look how many it takes to get him down. 5 Dolphins on top of Coates.
And look at Marion Butts blocking everything he can find down the field. Dolphin defensive coordinator Tom Olivedani, he said Coates was a nightmare. Coates has proven him right. Bledsoe in the flat, over the outstretched hand of Turner. Turner, who's had a lot of heavy work, may be tiring just a bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. You could see that on that route, slow to get up and just jogging back to the huddle right there. But Bledsoe did overthrow him.
8 minutes, 11 seconds still to go in the football game. The way this one has gone, the Patriots cannot afford to play it close to the vest. They've got to be thinking we'll need to score again, maybe score twice, the way Marino has been checking it for the Dolphins. 2nd down 10. Again, it's Ben Coates. This time short of the first down. Michael Stewart there to wrap him up for the Dolphins.
Now let's think for a minute about what it takes to make a great tight end. I'm not an expert on very many things, but I'm close to it on this. Does he make the big catches? Can he run after the catch? Is he big and strong? Is he fast? Is he a terrific target? I don't see any weakness in his game, certainly not today.
Third down, 4 yards to go. Had him open, overthrew Kevin Turner downfield.
And both Turner and Bledsoe are going to complain over the fact that Brian Cox grabbed him, which he did, but he got away with it. Excuse me, it was Singleton on the coverage who grabbed him and got away with it.
Number 55, Chris Singleton, the former New England number 1, getting away with the contact on Turner. Patriots failed to convert on third down.
Just to the right of the screen right there, he ran the out and up. Now after it's over, you can see he looks over the official saying, "What's up? What's up? Come on." And Singleton's like, "Oh, no problem."
O'Neill's last punt was a short one. This one he mails. Inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Miller takes it from there. And takes it all the way back to the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds. So the Dolphins will have 80 yards to go. 7 minutes, 14 seconds remaining. They trail by 3. We are live at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, Florida. Jim Lampley along with Todd Christensen, and you see the numbers there. New England leading by a field goal. 7 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the game. The Dolphins, after stopping the Patriot offense, get the football back with 80 yards to go. Dan Marino has had a red-hot day, particularly throwing the deep ball. And this time, Chris Slade gets hold of Marino and gets a rare sack of the Miami quarterback.
Well, Chris Slade took an inside move on Richmond Webb. Take a look, he's going to move to the outside like he's going, then he cuts inside, jumps over the top with a swim move, and he can't get him. Slade able to beat the All-Pro and get to Marino. When we talked with Bill Parcells, he said that he really liked his trio of outside backers, and we asked him why McGinnis wasn't in that position, and his response was,
he said, "I've already got a guy at the right side who can play it if he can learn how to do it." And he said they're both like dogs chasing cars down the street right now, but Chris Slade has every bit as much a chance to be a great player as does Willie McGinnis. Screen pass to Byers on second and long. Gets away from one tackle and then is ridden out of bounds back near the original point of contact at about the 20-yard line. Dwayne Sabb made the stop for New England. 6 defensive backs in the game for New England. 4 wide receivers on the field for Miami. Third down, 12 from the 18-yard line. They've got to get it to the 30 for a first down. Pressure again on Marino. This time he gets away and gets first down yardage as Terry Kirby made a big play to evade 2 tacklers short of the chains and got past it to keep the drive alive. Vernon Lewis finally made the stop for New England.
once again, watch Marino buying time with his feet. It looks like right here he's going to be sacked by McGinnis, but he slides past, can't get him, flips out to Kirby, and as you mentioned, he is able to avoid 2 tacklers and cut up the field and get the first down.
All the way to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 21 yards on the play. Both Marino and Bledsoe with excellent chances to go past the 400-yard mark in the air today. And Dan turns to referee Gordon McCarter and asks for a timeout. On first down 10 from the 39. Marino throws across the middle to Keith Jackson. And this time Jackson, who had a touchdown earlier in the game, has only a yard or so before Marty Moore and Dwayne Sabb wrap him up.
Only with the 1 catch, as you mentioned. For whatever reason, he doesn't seem to be as involved in the offense today. Just a crossing route, but they're waiting on him. There's Moore and Sabb putting him to the ground for only about a 2-yard gain.
Byers out of the game for the moment. Reserve fullback James Saxon in. Yet another indicator that fatigue might be a factor in these closing moments. Second down 7 after a gain of 3 on first down. Down the middle, almost picked off by Guyton. Jackson was the intended receiver.
And that's the second time that's happened for Guyton. Remember earlier in the second quarter, he had a similar situation where he did a good job of anticipating. Guyton in coverage here, man for man on Jackson. Looks to the inside. He sees the ball coming. It's overthrown. Jackson just gets an arm on it.
6 defensive backs in the game for New England now on third down 7. Moments ago, the Dolphins had third down 12 and kept it alive on a big play by Terry Kirby, who broke away from 2 tacklers short of the chains and got the first down. The first down with a rocket to Scott Miller into New England territory before Rod Smith is able to make the tackle. It's all the way down to the New England 40-yard line.
Once again, tremendous protection, and notice how Marino once again buys time by stepping up, waiting, zip. And there's the ball right to Miller for the first.
Miller in the game because O.J. McDuffie, who would normally be the third Miami receiver, is out with an injury.
You see the frustration on the look of Bill Parcells, but it's magic. It's magic today for Marino. He's trying everything.
Anytime blitz now from New England, and it works. Number 22, Rod Smith, coming off the corner, and along with Dwayne Sabb, number 95, he teams to put Marino on the turf. Rod Smith, incidentally, number 22, the man who was blitzing, has been playing in place of Ricky Reynolds at the left corner through much of the second half. Marino in the flat to Kirby. McGinnis knocks it out of bounds as Kirby gets it inside the 40 to about the 36-yard line.
Now that's an interesting situation. McGinnis back there. He is a rookie, and quite frankly, the reason he is in is as a pass rusher. That is his forte, not in coverage. He got caught a little bit too far inside on that, and Kirby got a lot more yards than he should have on a simple flat route, nearly 10, and so now a very makeable 36.
And New England goes to the dime. 6 defensive backs for the Patriots. Dolphins in the 4 wide receiver set. But one of those who is flexed is the tight end Jackson, number 88. New England with pressure. Well-timed play by Hurst as he was able to knock the ball away from number 82, Mark Ingram.
Now the big decision, and this is one that fans are going to enjoy throughout the year. The 35-yard line, a 52-yard field goal. The way this guy has been so hot, I say they got to go for it.
You've got Pete Stoyanovich, and 52 yards is certainly within his range.
And at the 52, where it is there at the 42-yard line, would be out of the dirt.
But instead, they'll go for the first down. 4th down, 5.
I do the same.
Ball is just outside the 35. They've got to get it almost to the 30 to pick up the first down. Marino out of the gun. He's been deadly today. Open man. Touchdown, Irving Frye. Touchdown pass of the day for Dan Marino. The 3rd one for Irving Frye. And I mentioned that Rod Smith, number 22, has been playing in place of Ricky Reynolds. He might wish now that it had been Reynolds who was on the field for that play. Stoyanovich to add the extra point. Gets it moved onto the grass. Ball snapped from the hash mark. Knocks it through the uprights. And the Dolphins lead by 4. 39-35.
What's so impressive about this is you've got 4th and 6, so what do? Oh, I'm thinking to myself, maybe we'll run a flat route, one of these guys over here or over here, but instead, no. Right up here on top, he's going to go with the up route. Does this show how much confidence he has in his arm? He's not going just for the first down, he's going for the downs. This is not a high percentage throw at all, but look at it. Right in stride to Fryer. The 5th touchdown for Marino. Unbelievable.
Marino calls the TD from his vantage point. It comes to Crittenden. Will they rule it a touchback? They will.
That's a good decision on the part of Ray Crittenden. A lot of people don't understand that. If the momentum of the ball goes into the end zone, that's exactly what he can do. So many times you see a young kick returner try and get it out. Good decision by Crittenden. If the ball goes through and the momentum takes it into the end zone, he gets the touchback. Crittenden heads up there, not doing a foolish thing, trying to run out and get tackled at the 4. So now the Patriots set up shop at the 20.
The relatively inexperienced Crittenden making a key choice there. Could have gotten his team into a lot of trouble. Bledsoe will now have 80 yards to go, just as Marino did 4 minutes ago. This is Leroy Thompson. And Thompson fights for about 8 yards. It'll be second down, clock running. Brian Cox makes the stop for the Dolphins. We're inside 3 minutes to go.
And as you mentioned earlier, Jim, how large does that 2-point conversion loom now? With
Huge.
a 4-point lead, the New England Patriots have to go for the 6.
Absolutely huge. It was the third quarter. The Patriots led 21-10. The Dolphins scored to get to within 21-16 and elected to go for the deuce. And now down the middle, Bledsoe finds Vincent Brisby. Gene Atkins makes the stop, but it's big yardage out across the 40 and a New England first down. Make it the 46-yard line.
Let me interject a thought here. The possibility of the way New England is getting down the field, they probably want to see the clock continue to go, because if indeed they do get down and score, they want to take up all the time if they can.
Dolphin defenders, Black backing up. Turner in motion. Bledsoe trying to get Coates, and 3 Dolphin defenders around the big tight end. Gene Atkins was the man who broke it up.
As you mentioned, 3 guys around him now. The point, they know where he is now on the field. He's been hurting them. There's Atkins, there's Stewart, there's Bulla. Good defense on that play.
They're going to find Ben Coates if it's the last thing they do in this drive. That's probably true of both Bledsoe and the Dolphin defenders. Second down 10. It was Leroy Thompson who couldn't hold on to the football.
Interesting, too, now at the 2:02, that actually assists them in terms of a timeout. The down, I don't mean that the down is necessarily irrelevant, Jim, but clearly they're in 4-down situation here. So now this will be an interesting call, whether to go for the entire 10 yards or set themselves up with a makeable 4th and 3 or 4th and 4.
The ball is actually spotted at the 47. They got to get it to the Dolphin 43 for a first down. Crittenden in motion. Plenty of time for Bledsoe. He finds Coates. And Coates breaks a tackle and is loose down the sidelines, but drops the football. And it's Dolphin ball at the 35-yard line. It was Gene Atkins who made the hit, and the ball came loose from Ben Coates.
The argument here, Jim, that they're talking about is whether or not he was out of bounds before he fumbled. If possibly his foot got knocked out of bounds before the fumble. That's what the circle is right now debating, as to whether or not he was out of bounds first.
And the roar of the crowd tells you how that argument is settled. 1 minute, 51 seconds to go. The Dolphins have the football and a 4-point lead.
You just don't roll out in August and start winning. You got to earn it here first.
So the Dolphins start from their own 26-yard line. 1:51 to go. Terry Kirby with the ball. Dolphins will try to run some clock, of course. Keith Byers apparently bothered by a thigh injury, so James Saxon is in the game at fullback. Patriots wanted a fumble call there, and there is none.
Now, he fumbled, and the man started to run with the ball. That was foolish, because the seconds are ticking off. Obviously, they wanted to call timeout there, and they should have done it immediately.
But they stopped the clock with 1 minute, 38 seconds remaining. So it'll be second down 10 for Miami.
New England, number 1, 40-second timeout.
And that's the first timeout used by the New England Patriots. Another look.
There's Ben Coates again getting stripped. I think what was fortunate in that case for the Dolphins is that he is so close to the sidelines. It's strange that the ball didn't go out of bounds, but it didn't. And Stewart did a good job of keeping himself in bounds.
One Stoyanovich field goal, a 2-point conversion for the Dolphins. Kirby again, and he's dropped. Big tackle on the corner there by Hurst. If he had let Kirby get away, he might have gotten first down yardage. Well, you got to figure at this point, if you don't get the first down, Bledsoe's going to have a pretty good chance to do some damage anyway. So I think it's of critical importance to get this first down, and at the very least, force the Patriots to use those last 2 timeouts. Or check it, that last 1 timeout.
Much as it pains me because it is our first broadcast together, I agree with you.
How about that? Let's hope that doesn't set a pattern for the season. We'd be in desperate trouble if we did nothing but agree. A minute 35. Third down 10. Dolphins need to get it to the 36-yard line for a first down. Fryer in motion. He's had a spectacular day.
Nope. Surprising. I'm very surprised.
And Kirby's wrapped up after a gain of a couple by Tim Goad. So now the Patriots use the last time out, and the Dolphins will prepare to kick it away.
Now, I'm very surprised at that for a lot of different reasons. First of all, the very reason that they don't have an effective running game is that man right there had told us, we want the ball in the hands of Dan Marino. He has been so hot. The guy was 4th and 6, and he just threw a touchdown pass. How many different third downs has he converted to over 10 yards? A number of them. I really have to question that call right there because, as you just pointed out, the other guy's hot too. You don't want to put the pressure on a defense that's given up 35 points. You want to put a pressure on a guy who's already thrown for 473 yards.
Isn't this what coaches call challenging your defense? This is when they go along the bench and say to the guys, okay, we've just shown confidence in you to hold up and help us win this football game. Now go do the jobs we expect you to do.
Well, that's lovely in theory, but the reality is the defense is sitting there saying, we've been toasted for 400 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Are we all of a sudden going to rise up and smite these people? I'm not so sure. Oh, sorry about getting biblical there.
Ray Crittenden, 3 punt returns today for 24 yards. Jim Arnold goes back to take the snap for the Dolphins. Veteran punter, tight formation for the Dolphins. Patriots were going for the block and got some pressure. Now here comes Crittenden. Makes a move, can't get outside, falls down at the 36-yard line. 8 defensive backs in the game for Miami. 3 wide receivers on the field for New England. Bledsoe gets it to Leroy Thompson. Thompson gets a block and gets to the sideline, but that block may have been illegal.
It sure was.
It was Michael Stewart who was fighting to get to Leroy Thompson. And Parcells cringes now as he awaits the call. They're going to back the Patriots up. It was Vincent Brisby who was working to get that downfield block.
Trying to do something aggressive, trying to help him out, trying to get Thompson out of bounds.
Illegal block from behind, number 82 offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Here comes from the left of your screen, number 82. Right in the back, he pushes J.B. Brown. It's a good call by the official. He ended up breaking the tackle anyway. 2 different officials saw it. Tough break for the Patriots.
Ball goes back to the 31-yard line. It will be first down, 14 yards to go from there. Dolphins still with 8 defensive backs on the field. Bledsoe firing up to the 45-yard line. Heck of a catch in traffic by Timpson. Clock runs now from 54. Brought down inbounds. J.B. Brown making the tackle on Michael Timpson. First down for the Patriots.
He'd be wise to spike the ball right here. Oh, that's it.
They get the incompletion and stop the clock. It was Crittenden in the open field who was hit from behind by Sean Hill.
Bill Parcells is telling him what I just mentioned. Down the play here, stop the clock. But evidently he didn't look over to the sidelines and opted to throw the ball in the middle of the field anyway, costing himself about 5 or 6 seconds.
Crowd chanting for the Dolphin defense. From midfield. Nobody there. He was throwing it away to stop the clock. 24 seconds remaining.
Now, 24 seconds, that doesn't mean that the middle of the field can't be used. What he has to tell the people in the huddle right now is that we need to get the first down in the middle of the field, sprint up there as quickly as possible on a hook route, and then spike the ball, and hopefully have the ball at around the 30 to 35 yard line with about 15 to 17 seconds left in the game. You do not necessarily have to get out of bounds at this point because they desperately need the first down, and if they hustle, they can come up and spike the ball and get away with it.
Now for one of the first times all day, Coates comes out of the game as the Patriots go to 4 wide, and Steve Hawkins comes on. Bledsoe throwing the out. Crittenden, the intended receiver, and Sean Hill, number 31, was there to cover for the Dolphins. 18 seconds to go. And now you got 4th down and 10.
The middle of the field is completely clear because of the way they're setting up defensively. They're trying to prevent the very thing that they've been trying to throw the last couple of times, which is near the sidelines. If they had been coached just run to the middle of the field and set down in the hook position, they could get the first down. Hustle up, spike the ball, and they have 2 throws into the end zone.
Great way to open the season. 2 quarterbacks over 400 yards, 9 touchdown passes. It all comes down to this, and the Dolphins make the play. Timpson, the intended receiver, Muhammad Oliver, and Sean Hill. Couple of reserve defensive backs are there to bat the ball down, and Bill Parcells is going to have to swallow a tough loss as he takes his team back to Foxborough to face the Bills next week.
Finally opts to go to the middle of the field, but he has the safeties looking in the middle. Double team, makes a bad choice. Give the Dolphins credit there. They read it, and all over Timpson. Shula likes the reaction of that one. Another win. 1 down, 9 to go to be the all-time winningest coach
in the regular season. He's already the all-time winningest coach in terms of total numbers. He needs 10 regular season wins to pass George Halas in that category as well. And the Dolphins have the first victory of the season. The Patriots go home with a very disappointing loss. The Miami Dolphins, on the strength of Dan Marino's 5 touchdown passes and nearly 500 yards in the air, hold off the New England Patriots in an extraordinary battle, 39-35.
The last time we were here at Texas Stadium, Troy Aikman was the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, but this is the last time we saw Troy. He was hit by Ken Harvey of the Washington Redskins and had to leave the stadium with his left knee in that brace and bandage, and Troy has graciously agreed to join us here on the sideline before the game starts today. And Troy, first of all, glad you're feeling better. Jason Garrett's going to be the quarterback. What exactly is your role going to be?
Well, as I told Jason throughout the week, I prepared as though I was going to be the starting quarterback today and watched film with him, went through the game plans and studied it throughout the week. Told him that I would be here through the ball game if he needed help. I was not going to go and give him any advice unwarranted, but if he asked for some advice, I'll be here to help, hopefully give him some.
All right, Troy, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
To you, too. With me is John Madden. Jason Garrett will be the quarterback, and what does that mean to the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I think having Troy Aikman by his side is a pretty good thing because, as Troy says, he's going to be there if Jason Garrett needs him. Now, you can't plug in Jason Garrett and say, okay, go in there and beat Troy Aikman today. He can't do that. He's not going to do that. So I think you say, okay, what do they have to do then? I think their offense is going to be a little more conservative. Ernie Zampese isn't going to call a lot of deep passes and stuff. I think the running game has to pick up a little of the slack with Emmitt Smith. But bigger than that, their defense has to have a big day today, get some turnovers, and their special teams have to come up big.
We had the opportunity to visit with Packer head coach Mike Holmgren last night. How is he approaching this game?
Well, I think that he knows that he has to play the game knowing that they're going to be playing with Jason Garrett, so they don't want to give him anything. I think Brett Favre has to have a good game. The big thing that he can't do is he can't have any turnovers. He can't give the ball away. I think having Reggie White back today is real, real big. Not as a pass rusher, but as a run stopper.
The Cowboys lost the toss, will kick off. Torrey Harris and Darrell Thompson back deep for Green Bay. Chris Bonio will kick off, and Barry Switzer, the coach of the Cowboys, thinks that before the dust settles, before this game is over, the field goal kickers will play a very big role, a vital role. For Dallas, it's Bonio. For Green Bay, it's Jackie. Set to go on Thanksgiving Day, and again, we hope your day has been a delightful one.
Yep, you can't beat this, Pat. Football and turkey and Thanksgiving, it all works well.
We've been doing it a few years now. Short kick. Returned by Harris. Brett Favre, who can be very good and also be somewhat shaky. Reggie Cobb is the deep back. Favre is going to work. Faced by Haley, he just had to throw it to the green spot. Cowboys clad in their new jerseys for this Thanksgiving Day. 3 wide receivers, Morgan, Brooks, and Sterling Sharp. Favre to Edgar Bennett. Bennett ridden down after he picked up about 3 by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, when we were talking to Mike Holmgren last night, that was one of the things he was talking about, is picking up enough on 1st and 2nd down so you don't have a lot of 3rd and long. Because the Dallas Cowboys are the #1 defense in the league, and of that #1, the best thing they do is this, Pat, is play this nickel defense, this long yardage defense.
Anything over 6 they regard being long yardage. 4 wide receivers this time. Brooks was the man in motion. Favre chased by Haley, rolls out of the pocket. Flag on the play as Brett Favre scrambles out of bounds. He doesn't have enough for a 1st down, but a flag back deep behind the Green Bay backfield.
And you know where Brett Favre learned that one? Scramble to your left side if you're in trouble, from Steve Young of the 49ers. Remember those bootlegs that he ran a couple of weeks ago?
Number 75, offense.
Jerry Markbright.
Declined. 4th down.
They declined the penalty. Rutgers was holding Haley, and he still almost got in there.
That's one thing about Haley, and even Mike Holmgren said it, because Mike Holmgren coached the 49ers when Charles Haley was there. Mike Holmgren was an assistant. He said, when Haley's in there, he gets in your backfield and makes bad things happen. Sometimes he makes bad things happen at your line of scrimmage.
2 bad things happened then. The penalty, the 4th down, and now Craig Hendricks will have to punt, almost blocked. Evan Williams says get away from it. It takes a Green Bay bounce, and they throw it out of bounds at the 2. Corey Harris was the man down, and the Cowboys have a long way to go.
Presenting the
Emmitt Smith standing in the blue end zone of the Dallas Cowboys. Emmitt Smith breaks out of the pack. Flag on the play. Smith stopped by the last man, George Teague, but a penalty marker down.
Well, we said Reggie White was going to play today, but not start. We can see Don Davey is in that left end position now.
Penalty against Dallas, holding. There's Davey.
I would expect Reggie White to come in on this down. If I were the Packers and he was going to play, this is a pretty good position for the Packers.
Number 48, offense.
Holding against Darrell Johnston.
1st down.
1st and 12. Deeper in the end zone is Emmitt Smith. Again, he pops out of there. And Smith, more yards. Run down from behind at the 36. George Teague, again, the last man.
Nate Newton hit that official on the sideline. I think he got him right in the mouth. He's saying he's all right. That's why I thought I'd put Reggie White in there on that 2nd down to stop that run.
If an official gets hit by Nate Newton, that's going to be an official that's losing the battle.
Yeah, good blocking there by Nate Newton. You see Nate Newton and Stepnoski were the 2 guys that made that hole. And watch at the end. I mean, here's Michael Irvin out in front blocking. The ball is fumbled there. You see, and then it was last touched by a Cowboy.
As we come back with Emmitt Smith again picking up good yardage, about 8. Yurkovich made the stop. Leroy Butler with an assist.
One of the things we were talking about is that with Troy Aikman out, playing your 3rd string quarterback, Jason Garrett, you're not going to put it all on his shoulders. And if you have to put it on someone's shoulders in this offense, number 22 doesn't have bad shoulders.
Even if he does have one sore shoulder. They're still pretty broad. Novacek is the move man. A handoff to Harold Johnson. And there won't be many of those today, no matter who the quarterback is. The Moose stopped by Jurkovic. There's Troy Aikman over on the sideline.
Well, the plays come down from Ernie Zampese, who's the offensive coordinator. So Troy Aikman is listening in on the plays that are being signaled in. There's Rodney Peete, number 9, who injured his thumb last week, threw a little yesterday, says that he doesn't have a real strong grip, but feels he could play if he were needed.
He would be the backup. And Tommy Hodson, who they brought in during the week, would be the third quarterback. Here's Garrett back to throw it, gets it out to Emmitt Smith. Smith gets to about the 48 and gets the Dallas first down. Terrell Buckley made the stop. Jason Garrett, well, his life has been football. 1988 Ivy League Player of the Year while he was at Princeton. 1991 he played in the World League with the San Antonio Riders. Was drafted by New Orleans originally. Got cut there. His career passing in the CFL 2 out of 3. In the NFL 10 out of 24. He's been around but hasn't been active that much except in preseason. Garrett. There's a good indication of a problem with Emmitt Smith's shoulder. He just couldn't get his arms up.
Yeah, and these are the kind of passes that Jason Garrett's going to throw. Jason Garrett, is not a strong arm guy. When you go from Troy Aikman, one of the best quarterbacks in football, one of the strongest arms, then you go to Jason Garrett. So he's not going to throw those deep outs and comebacks and those types of things. He's going to throw that shorter underneath stuff.
2nd and 10. Novacek has Emmitt Smith. Wheels it across into Green Bay territory, across the 50. Bryce Paup made the stop. They'll bring up the 3rd down and about 5 or 6. And they'll go with 3 wide receivers. Alvin Harper, number 80, has a cracked transverse process in his back.
And now we see Reggie White come in, Pat. They were saving him for this first passing down, this 3rd and long. And I think Reggie's also a pretty good run player. I think before the game's over, they're going to have to use him there.
Well, the arm will have its limits. He can use it, but he doesn't have the strength. Pass, Garrett is picked off by Buckley, and the Packers will take over.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was just saying that Jason Garrett can't throw well is that deep out or comeback, and you see he doesn't throw it well. He's going to drop back, throw it out here to the right, and it just stays in the air too long. You see, he doesn't have a lot of zip on that ball.
First time.
Packer ball at their own 40 after the interception by Buckley. Brett Favre with Reggie Cobb and Edgar Bennett behind him. Ed West, the tight end, signal down the line, quick out to Brooks, hit by Brown, broke 1 tackle and picked up about 5 extra. James Washington knocked him out of bounds.
Well, one thing you know, if you're going to throw on any down, you have to get Charles Haley blocked. So what they're going to do is they're going to double team Charles Haley. Now you see Robert Brooks out here. He's on Larry Brown. He just runs a little quick pattern, little hook, and then Brown comes up, misses a tackle, and lets him get 6 or 7 more yards.
Packers up on 2nd and 2 at their own 48. Lone setback with 3 tight ends. This is Edgar Bennett, beg your pardon. Didn't get the first. Leon Lett, who's having what many believe is a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type year.
I tell you, when you get Leon Lett in there and Russell Maryland the other side and Robert Jones, it is tough to run in that middle. You know, if you just look at this group right here, plus these 2 linebackers, it's tough to get in this area here. I mean, Leon Lett is a dominant guy. Russell Maryland plays low, plays against leverage, and they didn't get either one of them blocked.
That should be enough. by Edgar Bennett to get a Green Bay Packer first down. Stopped by Darren Smith.
Number 58,
and James Washington up for support.
And again, it was that throw to Robert Brooks, that first down throw where Larry Brown missed the tackle. That's the type of first down plays that Mike Holmgren is looking for. You know, where you can get 5, 6, 7 yards and have those second and short and third and short.
Where people like Haley can't just pin their ears back and put the heat on. They got to play the run too. Favre has a man right in his face. Edgar Bennett put up a hand but couldn't hang on as Tony Tolbert put the heat on Brett Favre. He turned around and there was Tony Tolbert.
Well, you're going to see Tony Tolbert. He's coming from up there the outside. No one blocks him, and that's the side that Brett Favre was trying to throw to. That's tough. I mean, that's tough to throw when the guy is 6'6" and you throw into his side when he's being blocked. When the guy's unblocked, it's impossible.
You hope for the best. 2nd and 10. That's Reggie Cobb. Cobb gets a couple, maybe 3, hit by Robert Jones.
You know, an interesting thing, Pat, every time after Brett Favre hands the ball off, he's faking a bootleg out here, and he's looking to see if Haley is chasing that run. Because remember what the 49ers did? Remember Steve Young getting those bootlegs? Well, they're running the ball to the right, and Favre is setting up for a bootleg to his left.
He doesn't have the speed that Steve Young has, but it could still be effective.
Now, somewhere in this game, he's going to do it.
3rd down. Favre to throw. Out of the pocket. Fires. Complete. Sterling Sharp kept him down. It'll be a Packer first down. Knocked out by Kevin Smith.
You know, and the key word you said, he fired. There's Sterling Sharp. He's up on top against Kevin Smith there. Sterling Sharp is such a big physical wide receiver that if you throw him anything, he can use his body to keep you away from it like he did to Kevin Smith that time.
Much like Michael Irvin.
Yeah, I mean, Sterling Sharp, you know, is so strong. I mean, you know, like 205 pounds, 210 pounds, but awfully strong.
1st and 10, Green Bay. Bennett, the motion man. The fake is to Tom Favre. Fires deep. Incomplete. No flag. And Favre took a shot. Now there is a flag.
And it's
at Favre.
And it's great at Charles Haley. I'll tell you, they bootlegged that. That was a bootleg, but it was to the other side. Haley's saying he's a runner, and they just sandwiched Brett Favre on that play. But Charles Haley's going to come from this side.